like Lisa Frank meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I want a hot tub by the studio, enough to live and make my art, but really any salary to start. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I want a big fat check for songs I've sold, Mitch eaten up by a T-Rex, and I really, really, really want a stimulus check. What I really, really want. How about Medicare for all? Paperboy and UBI. Corporations pay their time. But do you know what I want? What I really, really want? To believe in the American dream. Be whatever you want to be. Well, let's see.
Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper. Welcome to the GWARPod. Oh my god, this guy that we got on tonight, Jon Poppe, he's very popular. He's a very popular man. I think we have more people in the chat at once right now than maybe we ever have on this show, dude. You're like more popular than the Sexecutioner, I think. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for joining. That was one of my new videos, a little self-promotion for myself. And plus, you know, there's an alien in there. I know you guys like your alien music, people, right? Isn't that why we're all here? For the GWAR, the aliens, the musicians. You can find that on my album, Welcome to My Pity Party, which you can still buy at Bandcamp, or maybe wait a few weeks for Bandcamp Friday. But I don't know, these are going fast. They're each one is hand-drawn covers, so they're very limited edition. That was Lexa Terrestrial doing the rap, and of course Slim Jelly from Green Jelly doing the reactions. I'm sure we're going to talk about Green Jelly tonight too. How can we not? This is my show. We're going to talk about Green Jelly and GWAR. Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. And actually, I'm gonna play the theme song.
GWARPod comes from on GWARPod. 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 GWARPod.
We'll just say fuck it with
What's up, man?
the how you doing, brother? I'm sorry, I'm as techno savvy as a caveman. So
Uh-oh, are we having tech issues? Everything looks good to me.
not now.
Okay, great. Welcome to the show. Dude, you are a popular motherfucker. Did you know how popular that you were?
No, I had a few friends tell me that I that I don't know how to say this, but like that people know who I am, but I don't see it. Like, cause I don't really have much of an internet presence at all. I'm like I barely talk to people, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I was really
people like
surprised.
you, dude. People have been hyping this one up. I mean, I think people shared this episode more than any other so far, and it's like we had sleazy, we had sexy, techno destructo. People like Jon Poppe. Am I saying that right?
Yes, yes, it's spelled like Pope, sounds like Poppy. I'm a delicate flower.
Gotcha. Yeah. You are in Texas, correct?
Yeah, for
And you
now.
said you said it's pretty hot up there. Down
Yeah,
there, down
always,
there.
always.
It's
It's
33
always.
here degrees here in New York. Uh, it's been worse, but it's been better. It's not snowing or anything, so that's nice.
That's outside working weather for me. Like, I love that, man. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, do you get
Uh,
snow in Texas?
we have, but the people around here are not used to it, so
Right.
it becomes interesting watching out your front door.
Hmm.
But yeah, people lose their shit over snow here.
Well, this
At
reminds
the
me of
same
a.
time, they got scorpions.
Oh yeah,
So,
jeez. Yeah, no scorpions here in New York that I know of, or at least not around. I don't think so. That reminds me of one time I, when I was living in New York City for 15 years, Gwar played once at a venue in Times Square. I forget what it was called at the time. It changed names a bunch of times. Maybe the World? No, maybe the Best Buy Theater, maybe the PlayStation Theater. It all had all names for the same place. Anyways, Gwar rolled in during this massive, massive snowstorm. And I swear, me and my roommate and like maybe 50 other people at the most were there in this giant place. And we pretty much had our own private Gwar show because nobody could make it because of the snow. It was nuts, dude. Like I used to, this is like the kind of place Danzig plays, when he rolls around. And here's Gwar playing to like just a few people in this giant place. And the casualties were opening.
that's awesome.
That's my pure as the Arctic snow Gwar story.
That's
How did
awesome.
you get into Gwar?
Beavis and Butthead.
Okay, yeah,
Um, I,
classic.
I was one of those kids that like saw the Road Behind video, and I didn't believe it was a real band at first. You know, a lot of that
Yeah,
stuff at the time I didn't even know was real music. Like it was, I thought it was something that they made like clip wise.
right. I mean, it
So
would
I
seem
didn't
that
because I
way.
didn't know anything about Ween or.
Yeah, they did that
So
Ween video too.
when
Push
I
the
saw
little
that,
thing daisies and make them come up.
I was
I
like, "There's no way this is like a band." I love them. I love Guar. You know that I have a bootleg of all their old like episodes, which have all the old videos, and I
oh
still
yeah,
crack
I have
them
my
open and
King
check them
Turd
out
collection
again
in
and
the
again.
other room. Is that the one you got, the
That's
King Turd
awesome.
collection?
Yeah, it was Beavis and Butthead. No,
Yeah.
no, I got a straight bootleg, like where it's the original, like recorded off of TV, and so it doesn't
Yeah.
have all the censored stuff or anything. I do
Yeah, I
have
think
one of the collections before that. When I was younger, the videos didn't matter to me at all. You know,
I
I wanted
know,
to see
isn't
the
it funny?
cartoons. Now that I'm older, it's
Yeah.
it's so important. Like, yeah, it was such a big deal. Such a big deal
The
now to me.
Yeah, the older you get, you realize the videos is really what made this show. I mean, the cartoon part was great, but the videos are so I don't know, they're so funny. That's like really the best part. And it would be a licensing nightmare to get it all out there. I know I was excited when they went to what, Paramount for the new episodes because they were supposed to put all
Yeah,
the up there too, and turns out it was just a select few and they each had like one video in it. And it was like none of the stuff they made fun of, it was like Tool or something, you know? It's funny when they making fun of people.
yeah. It was Mike Judge is quite brilliant and hilarious.
Yeah. Um, when did you see Guar for the first time? And where?
Ooh, it's no longer there anymore. It was at Birch Hill.
Birch Hill
I think
nightclub
it was yes.
in Old
I
Bridge.
think God. Yep. Got yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe it was We Kill Everything because I remember bothering Hunter after the show when he was selling the comics,
Hmm.
like trying to talk to the guy, and I'm like, I'm young, so I'm like, not like I'm being disrespectful to him in a sense, like, hey, pay attention to me. When he was
Sure.
just trying to get his meat on, you know. But
Dude, I think
yeah,
I was
that
at
was
that
an
show.
amazing. We might have we might have punched each other in the pit.
It's possible. I don't
You
know if
know,
I was in the pit, but I do remember, I think there was a Gorgor, and I was like, how the fuck did they fit that on the stage tonight? Because that was a small ass stage in Birch Hill nightclub. I only been there twice. I saw Guar, and then I saw Mindless Self Indulgence with Deadsy and the Murder Dolls.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
real
those were
awesome.
two pretty epic nights. Yeah,
I think the last show I saw was Typo Negative and Lacuna Coil.
at Birch Hill.
Yeah, I'm pretty
That's a
sure it
good
was.
show. Yeah, R.I.P. Pete Steele. Of course, they toured with Guar. I wish I saw that tour. But I was reminiscing the other day, during, I guess it was Pete Steele's birthday, right? Uh, Typo Negative was really like my first real concert, and it was in 1995,
Yeah,
Bloody Kisses era.
that's a hell of a tour to start up on.
Yeah, they were
Hell of a
opening
show to
for
start on.
Queensryche.
My first show like ever was Misfits and Megadeth.
Ooh, when was that?
I had a full head of hair at that time, so I don't remember. Um,
In the 90s,
I don't know.
1900s?
Yeah, it was definitely oh yeah,
Misfits and Megadeth. That's
1900s.
cool. Yeah, I remember when Guar toured with the Misfits. I mean, I missed that show because I was a little too young, just a little too young. Um, that would have been a nice show to see, Misfits and Guar in like 1996 or something like that.
Oh man,
Cliff,
yeah,
Cliff thinks he was at that
it's
show.
funny.
Yeah, just
Not
so everyone
probably. I know
knows.
and he's from Jersey.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, people are like blowing up the chat room. I just want everyone to know, like, we're probably on like a 3 second delay, so that's probably why, like, if it sounds like we're cutting each other off, I think it's just because we have a delay. So I just want to put that out there. Jason is here. All right, hail Jon Poppe, the CrAction Figure
Jason.
King. We're gonna get into that in a minute for sure. John, you deserves it. One kind ass guardist right there. Dude, you're like just getting all the praise tonight.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
I don't know why.
trying.
I like that's
Hunter was always out there pushing his art. Was he still on that tour? Yeah, I guess. When did he leave?
Um, I think shortly after. I don't.
Yeah,
When was it called Surprising Burst of Chocolatey Fudge?
I think that was like
Was that
1997. Yeah.
that's what I was. Here's Mr. October.
Ooh, Roseland. I saw Gwar at
Sleeping.
Roseland once with Cradle of Filth. And I remember specifically the one thing I remember about that show was that they played BDF. And I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. The band Kiss. So, John, tell me about toys.
Uh, Grew up in the '80s, so I grew up with, in my opinion, like that's when like cartoons and toy companies were working together, and they were like how to exploit kids, and I was one of those kids,
Yeah, me too,
and
right here.
I'm I'm kind of happier for it. It's an easy drug, you know what I mean? Like, um, always loved Star Wars, and the best thing about Star Wars is that you had every character. Well, not every character, but enough to
Yeah,
like you had backgrounds.
if they were in this on the screen for like a second or more, there was a figure for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And those were
And
the coolest ones, like the more obscure characters. I thought those were the coolest toys.
especially because back then you could make your own character out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Luke was gonna act. You had an idea at least. So that's kind of how it started. But like my issues always was like if you look at like Ninja Turtles,
Mm-hmm.
they have so many different versions of the same characters, but they don't have every character that they've ever put in the comics or cartoon.
Right, right, yeah.
There's characters that they should have. They have episodes of, but instead you got like football, football like Leonardo or
Yeah, it
Nancy
got a little
Handler,
ridiculous.
Michelangelo.
Yeah, it got kind of
And
ridiculous.
they could
I
easily
liked
have just made characters that they
they
already
did
had.
they did make some weird characters though, so I'll give them credit for that.
There's a couple. If I saw right now, I'd keep in the package and hang them up, display them
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah, I don't have any of the old packaging, but I do have like a box of old He-Man and and Turtles mostly. A little couple of Transformers maybe or Thundercats. I sold all my GI Joes. I still have my Star Wars, and I'm still looking for my muscle figures. I know they're here somewhere, like in a corner. I'd hope nobody would throw out my muscle figures.
I got my muscle men,
Yeah, I
Mickey
believe you
Mouse.
do. I loved those
Um,
too. Those were just they gotta be like in some corner somewhere because they're so small and the box is small.
oh, that was my childhood between them and Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, Garbage Pail Kids, yeah. So when did you start making toys or how did this come about? What's the story with that?
Well, I started like a brief set like before I went to effects school.
Oh, you went
Like
to
it was
effects school. Okay.
yeah it's Tom Savini's like program in
Yeah, I know some
Pennsylvania.
people who have been there, yeah. I met Tom
It's
Savini once. He was very nice to me.
he's a rock star that doesn't know how to play guitar.
He doesn't yeah.
And
Hey, he's got magic fingers though, so
an amazing artist, really cool. I got stories with him. Like he was actually cool. I hung out with him once. Like actually
nice.
went to a movie theater with him.
Oh, cool. What'd you see?
Well, the only now here's the thing. I'm not trying to make it sound like I was everybody. I was his buddy or anything. I was just at the right place at the right time, which is basically my mutant power.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a black car that had a huge Punisher skull on the hood of it. Not before it got adapted to
Sure.
non-comic book Punisher.
Right.
And this is around the time when they had the Grindhouse double feature where you have Planet Terror and Death Proof.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he had early tickets and stuff, and he was a friend. He was kind of cool with a few of the other students. Like there's this guy Danny who's like one of the most ambitious people I've ever met. And so he got everyone's attention. I was hanging out with him, and he was just like, "Oh, you're the guy with that car? Well, do you want to come and to the movies with me?" And I'm bringing a few other people.
Hmm.
So it was really
That's
cool
pretty
because
subtle. Yeah.
kind of first time I ever walked into a place like a rock star.
Uh-huh.
Like
And one of his
and
friends
it
was
was
Tom,
weird because what was that?
and one of his friends happened to be Tom Savini.
Who was friends with Tom Savini? I'm sorry.
Oh, the guy you went to
I
the
lost
movie
you.
theater with. He said he was just gonna bring some friends. One of his friends was Tom Savini, or
Well, I wouldn't say no, no, no. Tom was the one that invited us.
oh,
Like
okay,
the
gotcha.
student Danny, yeah, he was just someone that like really impressed everybody that worked there. All the teachers,
Mm-hmm.
just because the guy busted his ass and was like really into it, passionate guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he got everyone's attention, and I was friends with the guy because like I'm passionate. I'm just not as talented as half the people in that school. But they found me. He like when we were all hanging out and invited us to the early screening of it,
That's
and it was
cool.
it was really cool. 'Cause we went out, had drinks and everything. Just he tells us like stories.
Yeah.
So really cool guy. But and I have a tendency to sidetrack, and
No, I
talk a
asked
lot.
for it.
So
You can sidetrack about Tom
right.
Savini anytime on this show. Just putting that out there to everybody. My quick
Awesome.
Tom Savini story is um I met him at a Chiller convention, which is cool, and he had a booth next to Brink Stevens, who is a wonderful human who was in my documentary about Haunted Garage and Dookie Fly Swatter. But the day before the Chiller, my high school video class took a field trip to Times Square to be an audience for MTV's Total Request Live with Carson Daly. And we had some time to kill before the show, so we all went to the old Virgin Megastore right across the street. And there was somebody who looked suspiciously like Tom Savini hanging out in the horror section. And it happened that we saw him the next day and we're like, "Hey, were you at Virgin Megastore in the horror section yesterday?" And he was. And that's my Tom Savini
That's
story.
awesome.
And he was promoting the film that never became a film called Vampirates. I'm still waiting for it.
Uh, Actually, I never heard of Vampire.
Yeah,
First
it
time
never
hearing.
happened. And Brink Stevens was going to be in it, and he was going to be directing it, I think. And I think what happened was Pirates of the Caribbean came out, I guess. And then they had, Disney kind of cornered the market. I don't know. I'd like to ask someone about that one day. I probably have like
Yeah,
an old, a postcard about it somewhere.
it's really awesome.
Yeah.
So my first set of GWAR figures. I just did the band Sleazy, Slimenstra, and I never even finished Bozo, but I
Hmm.
did Techno, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any sculpting tools or anything. I just kind of pieced it together, and right now Brian Cook owns them. I ended up giving them to him, and
Gotcha.
but I had them for years because GWAR always needed toys. They always needed something. Like that, the
Mm-hmm.
Rumble in Antarctica game was perfect because it was the closest thing that we had to figures,
That's
and
the one big
so
thing that's missing in my
I fell
GWAR
in love with
collection is the
them.
Rumble from Antarctica stuff.
Oh, I got the whole set with the exception of the two that were unreleased. Actually, I have a
Oh,
really cool box I want to show you that's
yeah.
signed by a bunch of members. Like
I'd love to see
it's
that.
probably like
I have
my
I have the
precious
instruction booklet.
collection.
That's about it.
Yeah, I got the book. I got all. The only thing that is tragic about that, like when you get like a whole thing of slaves,
Mm-hmm.
and they got destroyed. Like I'm constantly moving. Like if it was one place in New Jersey, other California, or here Texas, like at some point things just got destroyed, and that was
Sure.
heartbreaking. But I was able to keep all the other ones.
Yeah, I
But
was in high school when
I
that came out, so it was a little bit above my price range. Uh-oh. We lost Jon Poppe. Uh-oh. They got him. Oh, he's back. Are you back?
yes, can you hear me just fine?
Yeah.
It's like I said, I have I think I have magnets in my blood. I don't know how they
Yeah.
work.
I don't. That's an ICP joke for you. I
I will show the
get you.
box.
Yeah, I can hear you. How's the
All right,
sound
cool.
in the audience? Can somebody confirm that we sound good? Am I too high? Is he too low?
I didn't smoke today, so I'm definitely not high.
Well, I plead the fifth. Although I can say that where I am in New York, it is now perfectly legal to have and to smoke. So, ha! And we
Texas
even
is
got our first legal recreational store opened up a couple weeks ago in New York City. So
that's awesome.
we're moving in a snail's pace, but it's happening.
It's illegal to exist in most people, like for most people here in Texas. So
That's a
I
bummer,
doubt,
man.
I doubt we're getting weed laws anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, what's the black market like over there? Is it easy to get?
It's Texas, man. I wouldn't know.
Gotcha. Yeah. Let's take some comments. Question for John. Who's a guardist you think deserves more attention? I'm trying to find other cool people to talk to.
Oh God.
There's so many of them.
I mean, well, as for someone who does like, I wouldn't, I wouldn't know. If, yeah, I guess he isn't a guardist, but Jason Todd Kimball is one of my buddies. In fact, if and when I stop, whether I'm not able to make them anymore, no longer able to, whatever it is, um, Jason's going to be the guy who's going to take over and
I
continue.
think he's in the chat room. Are you still here?
He amazing. We were talking about Ninja Turtles. We're actually doing
Mm-hmm.
a trade off between one of my CrAction figures for a turtle version. So it's like
Oh,
a
oh yeah, I've seen his work. Yes, yes, yes. That's
amazing.
so cool.
I love Tara Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Gaz is amazing. I mean,
We
there's a lot.
got Cliff Roth here. He's a
Cliff's
guardist.
amazing.
Yeah.
I actually I saw him at a convention and he was selling his work, and I'm broke, so I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
ask for the guy, but he's an amazing artist.
Yeah.
But Byron Acet's amazing artist.
Yeah.
Everything he does.
Is Humongous Fungus among us in the chat room watching
And
us?
that was a great interview for GWARPod too.
Yeah, I know. I should get him on here for sure. I did meet him once in New York, so I have a picture with the man. Oh, I have that. That's one of my few slides that I have for you. Is this one?
Yeah, he uh he invaded my house.
Ah,
And that's actually a look of fear.
yeah. What like how smelly on a scale from 1 to 10?
Uh, okay, so I don't know if you know my history, but I used to be a grave digger.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was a grave digger, and one thing that grave diggers eventually have to do is a disinterment, and that's a horrible thing. We smell horrible on the inside, and I would rather bathe in that than to deal with humongous
Fungus. I
smells.
mean, it's in the
And
name.
now that being said, his slaves one of the is clean, prepped, and amazing guy, but humongous. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've heard about those porta potties and stuff, right? Oof.
Yeah, it's and it lingers.
Uh-huh.
He's the type that sticks around for a while, you know.
There's a which I know you made a toy. Which section is that in?
It depends. I mean, if
Let's see. There's a fungus toy, isn't there?
oh yeah, I've made
Is it in the CrAction Figure section of your Facebook?
it should be. It should be.
Oh yeah, I found it.
I got it back.
Ta-da! That's cool.
Yeah, it if anyone like makes a character and takes it serious, like puts in the work, puts in the time, I will definitely put that in the collection. I think that's the cool thing, becoming a part of that GWAR universe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. We're gonna have to talk about that for my Kevin the dinosaur.
I'm down for that. I've thought about my own for a
Oh
while.
yeah. Do you have a character?
That I plan to make. Yeah, I have a name and everything. What I'm
Do you want to reveal it or is it a secret?
Oh, not a secret at all. Pogo Destructo.
Okay.
I my three favorite artists are Hunter, Don, and Matt, and they all three were once, if not still, Destructo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's not enough Destructo love. I think besides like I don't want to say his name, Psycho Destructo from Green Jelly. I don't know anyone else who's doing that. Who's
Right. Speaking of Matt, might as well just tell everybody now that he'll be on the show February 8th. We finally got a real live GWAR member. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, let's check this out right here. Let me full screen you. Let me see that again. Oh man, it's so that's his CrAction figure. My
Yeah,
God, it's so detailed.
this is the one I'm trading for Jason.
Got you.
Like,
And how big is that? Like they're bigger than I expected.
they are I don't know what the size of, what are they, 9 inch for
Like, okay,
the typical wrestling. Most of this is the WWE stuff.
okay, yeah. So that's I'm gonna get, that's leading into another question that I want, but I want to hit up some of these. Oh yeah, that's so cool.
I broke a Beyblade.
Oh no, John,
Oh no,
what's your favorite food?
my favorite food? Cheeseburgers, straight up.
Oh, I haven't had a good cheeseburger in a minute.
I'm like, but
S-
I'm a fat guy. I eat everything.
Splamo wants a giant cuddly the cowlick from the TMNT comics. I don't know that character.
Okay.
I hated that show. They would never play full songs. What show are we talking about? I just put all those on display perfectly. Just put all those all. Yeah, no, he's got a whole display, right? Oh, are we talking about his old action figures, our old action figures? There's never enough space for all the toys. You rock.
I'm right.
Sound good. Hello, GWAR family. Oh, yeah. Speaking of, hello, GWAR kid, Sean. He's actually going to be the next episode. Let me show the flyer here. What's up, Sean? Thanks for coming by. I'm really excited to talk to you. Oh, yeah. Let me see his CrAction figure. Do that again. Yeah.
The paint's not that great anymore. I actually made one for him.
Yeah, but I can, like, the details on that shirt, like, I could tell.
The shirt that he's wearing.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that image. I think that's impressive as hell.
I appreciate that. I'll be honest. The one thing I struggle with most is painting.
Yeah.
I hate doing it. I don't think I'm good at it. So
Sean's jealous of your epic beard.
oh, thank you. No, what's really cool about this thing, it's mostly still has a little color back here. It's all gray.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm slowly becoming a wizard, I guess.
Right. Yeah. What's your wizard name?
um,
Also Pogo.
Spontaneous asshole.
Ooh, I like that. Maybe I shouldn't tell my secret plans, but one of my secret plans is to have a band that, I mean, I'm going to find a cassette from a band from the 70s. I think it came from the mountains. It's called Black Mountain Wizard Society. So I'm always looking for wizard names.
Oh, they're
Tara, yes.
punished.
Cliff, yeah, everyone's shouting each other out. Humongous, Jason. They're all talking to each other. You're all so fun. Look at this. Now I feel like sleazy when he's like, they're just talking to each other. Where's all the questions?
You know what? They're all.
Sean, you have a band? All right, we're gonna have to talk about that. Send me a link to your band, man. I want to listen to it before our show. TRL, yeah. Oh my god, there's so many comments. Thanks for coming. Cuddly. Okay, everyone wants a cuddly. Do. On your birthday. Really? That's cool. Okay, I think we got through. Oh, wait, and here's one. Do you play TTRPGs? If so, which do you play it? I'm gonna pretend I know what that means. Oh, tabletop role-playing games. Did I get that right?
Do I play D&D? I haven't in a while, but I never played it with the rules. I am like ridiculously dyslexic, so anything with a lot of reading, a lot of numbers, I will lose interest. However, I I love the fantasy stuff. I love getting into things. So I used to play with friends, but it was very much abridged, and we were more interested in making the buildings and making like really cool like scenes. Like eventually, like with my roommates and stuff, we had a room dedicated to our D&D.
Oh wow.
Like we set up like clouds, a moon, and a sun. Got into it. My old roommate set up a whole like facility because he was really into like aliens and anything Sigourney Weaver. But like we really got into it, but it had more to do with the story and how clever you are, and the roll of the dice had more to do with your chances, not so much your dexterity or like because if you look at those figurines, they're already badass looking. So why am I rolling for like you might hit this person?
Hmm. I don't know. I've actually never played D&D. It's a shameful admission. I'm due for some nerd beatdowns for saying that. I don't know. And have you played? I know it's not little figures, but have you played the GWAR game, GWAR versus Time, with the cards?
I own it. I went through it, and I'll go through it again. But no, no,
Same.
it for one, it's hard to find people that want to play, and you want more than just like one person. And when it comes to my Guar stuff, like someone's getting into the game and they start like folding up the cards.
Mm.
Like I can't look past that. I'm like, I spent a lot of money for the fucking thing.
Yeah, dude, I got all like the special cards and stuff too.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need people bending that up because they're not a fan like I am. I'm opening up to you if I'm sharing my Guar.
Yeah. I don't know if this would work, but I'm gonna put it out there to the chat. For anyone who's played, I don't know if this would work or if we could mend the rules to make it work. But I'd love to just do a virtual game here on the GWARPod someday, just so I could do it with some people who actually give a shit about it, and it's not like I'm making someone play my stupid GWAR trading card game.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to play it, so you'd have to teach me how to do it too. But I did not read those rule books. I just kind of like looked through all the cool art.
I did that.
Yeah. So someone would have to teach it to me. Maybe I'll ask Matt about that. Has anyone in the chat played the GWAR? That's the other thing. I think it came out during the pandemic, so it was like we're just all sitting around by ourselves anyways.
Yeah.
Um, what got you started on making CrAction figures?
Um. Really, kind of fighting depression. I was
Okay.
I was out of work. Like I was working for my brother. We had a bad falling out. I bought his house,
Hmm.
and so I was losing that. So I lost my job, my family, and now I'm losing my house. And I could not find a job. I couldn't find like no one would hire me,
Mm-hmm.
and so I kind of just I know I was getting depressed. I know I was going through something. And I remember making this stuff always made me happy. So I decided, now that I have a effects career, not a career, but at least the education
Mm-hmm.
under my belt, and I know how to use tools and the type of clay that I'm comfortable with using. And I started making the band, and I was like, I'm just gonna make the band. And so I did that. I'm like, well, I need the villain, so I got to make the Destructos. So okay, I got to make them. Well, if I'm gonna make the Destructos, I got to make Cardinal Sin. So now,
Yeah.
it just kind of snowballed, and everything
Yeah.
I said I wasn't gonna do, I ended up doing. I wasn't gonna make alternates of characters. I was gonna make one odorous, and now I have like a few, like ones
Yeah.
from particular videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So
No, and I wanted to shout out. I know I'm just like breezing through some of these just as we talk,
no,
but is this your latest odorous?
no, no. Well, actually, I'm working on one currently, but it's in the other room. I could grab that one. Was a gift for a friend.
Okay,
That odorous is right there. I'll go grab that.
sure. Because I definitely want to talk about this odorous right here. Oh,
I don't know if you can see the kilt flowing.
oh yeah, he's got a kilt on, ladies and gentlemen.
I like to keep breezy.
Oh my God, it's so cool.
Oh yeah, this is
So, what? Okay, here's just a quick. What series of action figures that I would know of would be to scale to those CrAction figures?
hmm.
And I guess Gwar is supposed to be a little bit bigger than
Marvel.
most Marvel, like the '90s ones.
You know what? Yeah, like those early ones.
Yeah, yeah, like the X-Men's and
Yeah.
stuff.
This is the one I'm currently working on.
Nice. What era is that gonna be?
Um, America Must Be Destroyed. So I'm
Nice.
actually, yeah, and I'm gonna. This guy wants him, like, little companion. So,
Oops.
and I have to make one of those for myself as well, since now
Right. I was gonna ask, do you make a duplicate for yourself?
I I am this time. I haven't started that. I owe Jason Sexecutioner, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to make a '90s Sexecutioner now.
Yeah,
So I figured I'll do them both at the same time.
right. This, I just love this because this is my favorite odorous costume of all time. I know I don't think it was very comfortable for him, but this is my exact favorite era of Gwar is while he was wearing this costume in like 1993.
It,
It's good. And it's
it
so, and I think it got lost. Like, I don't know if they even ever recovered it. I'd love to hear the story about that.
yeah, I would too. It's weird that like just disappeared without an explanation. Although they didn't really explain how he got the.
Well, God, okay, I had a bootleg cassette. Um, yeah, I think it was in that era. God, I lent it to somebody and I never got it back, and I'm still trying like 10 years later. I feel so stupid. I never made a copy. I'll have to see if I made a copy for anybody. But I had these two Gwar bootlegs. They were awesome. And one of them, it was obviously only audio, which is just like, oh man, I wish someone filmed this. But it was a show from Canada around that time period, I think, where some of their costumes never made it through, like they got lost in the mail and like lost in the air. And so Odorous and Slimeenstra didn't have their costumes, and so they performed with just like scraps or whatever they could find backstage and their stuff. And like he kind of performed as not Odorous. He was kind of like, if Odorous was here, he'd say this, you know? And apparently Danielle just like went topless all night and maybe like put some paint on. So it was just like, that's what you do when you lose your costume. And I think it might have been that costume. which is a shame because it should be in the GWAR, one of the GWAR museums.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I would love to. I wish there was some footage of Odorous and Slimenstra out of that, like with their
I
own.
know.
I
It
would, I
was
would,
so cool.
that'd be awesome. Actually.
Yeah. How do you make this? So do you mold, like, what's the process of making these?
Um.
Do you mold it all yourself, or do you like take existing molds and modify them? Or how does this work?
No, I mean, honestly, if I was making molds, it'd be a lot easier. But I'm mass producing anything, and it
Right.
doesn't help as a sculptor if I make a mold. But honestly, I just take a regular figure, a regular action figure, either strip it down, whatever I need. Hopefully, they have enough. But like I have I use clay, and I just sculpt off of. This is a Super
Hmm.
Sculpey. This is the firmer stuff. I usually use this. You know, you have to bake it in the oven, so you have to be smart of the temperature and how long you should like. You have to be aware of all that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's more clay that like dries out, but I have better luck sculpting with that. I do have a two-part epoxy if there's materials I can't use, and these come in handy. They smell terrible and they're sticky, but they get the job done.
Mm-hmm. So
And
like, for example, then like, I don't know, this odorous we were looking at, like, what was the original figure that you used for this? Just as an example.
um, I honestly don't know. It's rare that like that I know the wrestler anymore. I stopped.
Mm.
I think I
So do you just get like giant lots on eBay of like old toys to destroy?
I not really. I'll be honest with you. I'm so impatient when it comes to like ordering stuff on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I miss New Jersey so much. I didn't need the internet. I had connections. You know, I knew every
Mm-hmm.
flea market and I knew how to diddle daddle. I knew how to talk to people.
Because you made a lot of toys. I mean, there's like what, probably at least over 100 of these things at this point, right?
Those are my first versions. Those are
Yeah.
before college. Those are
Wow.
all He-Man. Those are like when
Okay.
they reissued like the whole He-Man story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before Netflix and everything.
Right.
That's a She-Ra.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't have any tools. I just did what I did with it. The Cuttlefish of Cthulhu is
Mm-hmm.
out of that old one was from like I went to a porn store
Uh-huh.
in New Jersey. All there are pizza places and porn stores. Like you can, and a karate
Oops.
studio
Like,
across the street. It's almost guaranteed. So I
mm.
found a fishing lure that was a dick, and I was like, this is perfect. So I, I walked in and I found that it right there, and those are like two little screws for the eyes and
Hmm.
pantyhose for his sack there
Mm-hmm.
that have like two little BBs, so you
Oh,
could
wow.
actually you could give them a massage and get a surprise.
Well, this is a good segue. I did want to talk about actual official GWAR toys, because since you've made those, started making those, GWAR has made some toys. And do you have, and what do you think
I don't have
of the actual sex toy cuttlefishes? Ladies,
I
if your
think
man's into small penis humiliation, this is one of the small ones. This is actually the small one. I just didn't have the space for the big ones. I mean, they're gigantic.
yeah, they're you could always make a table out of them.
I
Put 'em on, I don't
guess.
know.
Bad dragon, ladies and gentlemen. Bad.
I
And this one
when
glows in the dark, believe it or not.
that's cool.
Yeah, so it I have several glow in the dark GWAR toys now, and they just kind of like
Well, those
illuminate
it,
while I'm sleeping.
And you know what? There needs to be more glow in the dark stuff in the bedroom. So I'm fine with that.
When are you gonna get a cuttlefish? It wants look at it's like, John, buy me.
Uh, I tell you what, the one thing I do, like, because I don't often do commissions, but the
Hmm.
one thing I'm doing, because Gwar is very like straight up about how they look at like people doing commissions and stuff like that, the fan
Right.
art.
Yeah, so be careful here.
Well, the thing I've been doing, and if it's wrong, I'll rather stop. But I always try to go for trade. And the one thing I like to do is,
That's the way
like,
to do it.
if they have nothing to trade, I make them buy me something from other, Guar, Hunter, or Don, or even Chuck.
Hmm.
Like, give them the money, but I want the swag. So
Sure.
it's
That's
feeding
good.
them while feeding me, and that's how
Yeah.
it works. And if
We
if
did have a question related to that. How much do your figures cost? I don't think they're generally for sale, right?
not not really, I usually just find a bunch of stuff. It depends on the difficulty of the figures, and like, and they're not like something that you could toy around with, because it's made,
Right.
as soon as it falls, it just shatters.
Mm.
Yeah, had a couple of heartbreaking moments where something just crashes. You hear a smash, and you're,
Oh,
and you pray it's not like the one that you just did, like the one
right.
you're proud of. It usually is, but it happens, and again, it's another reason to resculpt.
Do you repair them?
Yeah, luckily none of them have ever been destroyed bad enough where I couldn't fix it.
Good, good,
Very
good.
very lucky with that.
Sean says, hit me up later. I can introduce you to some awesome tools and materials in the miniature hobby that will work a lot for what you do.
Awesome. And
Sweet.
I got my tools. I actually, between sculpting tools, I use dental tools, like what the dentist use.
Hmm.
I have a couple surgical tools that I like.
Wow.
Again, my mutant power is right place, right time. I just so happened to be at a place where I could grab a whole bunch of surgical tools and really creepy stuff that I end up displaying.
Word. Do you have a favorite that you've done or
Yes,
favorites?
I mean, usually it has everything to do with how much of a difficult time I thought I was going to have, or I had.
Hmm.
Um, I'm really really proud of my flesh column.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about, is that to scale to the other ones?
No, I would say maybe to scale towards the theater side, but it looks more like more of the live show. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool. What did you make that one out of?
Um, a lot of things. Most of it's clay. This was a cheap Spider-Man, like a dollar store Spider-Man that was like relatively big. Um, cut off the head, cut off the feet.
Like a bootleg? I have a bootleg Spider-Man that's just so funny. I think it's called labeled as Batman, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Some bootlegger would pay for that. Hit me up. Hit me up. It's in his package and everything. It's like this big.
That's all. I like that. This actually comes with
Oh, let me
faceless
see.
cake. Free camera. There we go.
Oh, cool.
But
Wow.
I actually made a faceless beefcake shortly, like not shortly, a few years after, where
Yeah,
you actually take his face off. But
sure.
that's that.
And is it on the, do you have a flopsy that it hangs out with?
Yes, absolutely. As
See,
soon
you're real detail oriented. I love that.
well, that's like, honestly, that's the bread and butter, man. Everyone has seen the band. Everyone has, like, but like those like little details that everyone noticed. I'm desperate. I can't wait to make Bumblar the Ape Boy, who's only a joke, who wasn't even a real character.
Wait, which one? Who's that? I'm like, even I'm stumped.
Bumblar, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but he was in Dawn of the Day of the Night of the Penguins, and he
Okay.
helped move the mic, and he was wearing like a I don't know if it was a Fred Flintstone or what the hell, George of the Jungle.
Who was playing him? Do you know?
I have no clue. I don't even know if it was. It could have just been someone from the venue. I don't know.
Right.
It was just like, thank you, Bumlar the Ape Boy. I'm like, well, I need because
That's funny.
people that are like, oh, I know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got these are the hands which should be stand up, but they're not gonna.
Oh wow. So they even separate like they do in the show.
Oh yeah, I got a little bit of movement, not as much as I want.
Are you gonna make a movie version of Flesh Column?
Yes, yes, I am. Yeah,
Amazing.
I would actually love to get Skullhead Face's entire like facility done.
Oh wow. There's a really good picture of it in the comic book if you have the Skullhead comic book.
Yeah, I have a lot of the older stuff. I don't have every cover of the first not new but the first issue.
The Orgasmageddon. Yeah. That's a tough collect. I don't know if you saw my Matt Miner interview, but I was like, there's like this many of them that I have. It's ridiculous.
I'm glad you said something about that because
I mean, it's funny, but geez.
when you get a collect, okay. Do you have the Vans? Do you have the Vans cover?
Uh, yes, I think so. Yeah.
The Vans, what's it?
Warp Tour.
Warp Tour. The Warp Tour.
Yeah, I think they were selling it on their website when I was just like, oh wow, this one I don't have. That's so random.
Now, so you probably paid a decent, like a nice normal price for a comic book. See,
For that one, yeah.
Yeah, for that, I understand that. Well, I didn't do that because a lot of times I always like end up not getting those things. Those, oh, you could only get it there. They always run out, and I never get them.
Yeah, you can get them on eBay. That's where I got most of them. Because I missed most of the Kickstarter. I was like pretty broke at the time, so I missed all those. I had to collect them after the fact. So I did pay some money for some of those issues.
No, I get that. No, so I got they were playing not that far from my house, and I was like, well, maybe I can sneak in. I
Mhm.
used to be able to climb fence, and that's not going to happen. I I thought about I tried to discuss it with the guards, like say, hey man, I'm not even here for the show. I want to get the comic book because it's probably might be my only chance on getting it. And I don't do eBay because
Oh, going to the Warp Tour. Gotcha.
yeah, going to the work.
Yeah, yeah.
No, back
Like,
I jump. I'm sorry.
no, it's cool. I got it. I got you now.
My conversations is like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I said like a conversation later.
It'll make sense at the end.
Exactly. But no, so I was like going up and I'm trying to talk to the guards. They just help me out. They said, no, go up to the Ticketmaster, try to talk to them. Talk to them. No, we can't do that for you. And I'm like, well, I'm here. I have the money, but I have like my roommates and everybody, and they can't come in. So if I'm going, and I don't even think Gwar was going to play anytime soon, if at all,
Mm.
that day.
I mean, they did play
So
a Warp Tour, right?
yeah, yeah,
Maybe
no,
not that year.
they were definitely no, they were there. They were definitely there. It was
Mm.
just there was no. I'm pretty sure I either missed it, like them playing, or it was going to be way too late, and I'm not going to leave them behind by the fence while I'm at a Gwar show,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I said I'd be right back.
Right.
So
Famous last
I
words.
I paid exactly. I paid a full ticket and walked around the fence and to the Gwar booth to get a T-shirt and the comic.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably one of the most expensive comics that
God
I
damn.
got. That wasn't like X-Men, giant size X-Men #1.
And then you
Something
just
that
left? Did you watch any of the bands or what?
no, I because everyone was people were waiting for me, so I just walked in and walked out with like 70 less in my pocket, like an asshole.
Yeah,
And
that's a story.
so I was just being spiteful though. Like the shirt that I got, I wore it for basically a straight month. I was gonna get money out of that damn shirt.
Which one was it?
It was the actual cover of the Orgasmageddon. I was like,
Gotcha.
I came there for that. I might as well get that.
And
And
you
that was
missed the band. Oh, that sucks.
exactly. And it was weird because there was a lot of kids there.
Hmm.
Like on the way up there, they're like, so, and I'm wearing a Gwar shirt because I'm that guy. I'm gonna see Gwar. I'm gonna wear my Gwar shirt.
Ugh,
So I'm
you're
wearing my
that
Gwar.
guy.
When it comes to Gwar, yes, I normally would wear something I'm comfortable with. But
When you
when it
see
comes,
Gwar, you're supposed to wear white, John.
exactly. Well, I think I wore my Dave shirt. No, I didn't. No, I wore the Order shirt that has everybody. Like that little, like the closer you get, the more the images that you see. Love that
I don't
shirt.
know that one.
That Hail Gwar.
Okay,
It's called Hail Gwar. It was like right after his Ethereal tour, like
right.
when Blothar was introduced. But so I'm wearing that, and like these group of kids come up to me, and they're like, "Oh, you're into that GWAR band?" And I told them it's not GWAR, it's GWAR, just because they were walking out, and you know,
That's
I wasn't
funny.
trying to like discourage them from being Gwar fans, but
Sure.
you know, I
Got to
wouldn't.
inject some humor into it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just went on my way. I don't care if those kids thought I was an asshole later.
Right.
Oh, and since we were showing
Oh, the
I made
female.
in her nightgown in her night clothes, I guess her night
Right.
out town.
That's good. Wait,
Um,
did you make a human version of Skullhead?
do you mean Boss Glomko or
No, no,
Butthead?
no. Well, there I guess that is also true. I meant the female form. There you go.
Oh yeah.
The completest right here, man. Like you name it. That's
Oh
what I love about looking through your toys. Let me get that screen back up. I'm just gonna like scroll through them while we're talking.
yeah,
Um,
and that was for my friend Splamo.
Splamo,
She's the one that suggested and glad she did.
and
But
there
I
they are in the
also
chat. Those one-offs, half-mentioned characters are the best kind. Exactly. Wait, let me full screen you. Show that again.
so I know that this is kind of not exactly movie accurate. I should have. I mean, if I wanted to be movie accurate, it would have been babies wearing kind of a Gwar outfit.
Mm-hmm.
But
The
I think,
Gwar babies. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
yeah, this is all for
Wow, the whole scene. That's so incredible. I mean, how long does it take you to make one of these? Because it feels like I'm looking at years and years of work here.
Well, I mean, my count right now that I have completely finished is 199, and I started that. I think I started making these 2014.
Okay.
So I mean, it has been years, but it really depends. I've made a figure within a few hours because like
Okay.
of how sometimes you're just on a roll.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have the perfect character to use, like the perfect wrestler or body type, and things just fall right into pieces, you know. Or yeah, I think I said that completely reversed. I don't know.
We get it. I'm
Thank you.
just I'm in awe here. Oh, there's the Donalds. You
I
even got this guy. Wow.
Yeah, I have to do presidents and stuff, and I don't know who that
There's
was.
there must be a Reaganator in here too, right?
Yes, I have a Reginator.
But oh my God.
That's from the board game, not the board game, the card game.
Oh, what's the name of this character?
Oh crap. Um, it's a Maximus.
Yeah, Avi. Yeah,
Not not
I
Splash,
forget.
like Skokum Maximus. I think's his name.
It's just like I'm just like sometimes I'm like, oh, where did this character come up? And I feel like I'm a sort of an expert on Gwar, and like, wow, like this is from what is this from? A techno video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I it was him learning how to his I thought it was like his son or something, but teaching someone how to ride a bike.
Right, right. We had a question. Where did it go? What was your experience like when you met the GWAR members? Have you met
Well,
the GWAR members?
yes. Well, I met him after shows. I always like, you know, I'm waiting, get my autographs and stuff. But meeting them with the figures, I've only done twice. Actually, no, three times technically.
Mm-hmm.
The first time it was with Don, and that was an awesome time. He was at a convention, and this is when I first started working on him, and I never seen Don at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Sleazy or anything like.
Yeah, because he stopped touring with them a while ago.
Yeah, so you know, I love Sleazy, so I was dying to finally meet the guy, and it was awesome. I made him sign that Gwar box,
Mm.
and had a full conversation with him, and he had like a little time where him and like he has this dude he works with, Justin, and
Mm.
like he was this was before they actually, I think, did the whole Sleazy Pictures After Dark after the first season. I
Mm-hmm.
know they were still, yeah, they were just starting to work on it, and
Nice. Yeah, I got my. Oh, let's see if I can reach it. Ah, my season 2 box set came in recently.
I don't have season 2 yet. I'm
I didn't even know it came out, and it was like, get your last copies now. And I'm like, oh shit.
well,
Let
if
me
anyone
show it
wants me to
off.
make, then this is a wish list right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's see it.
Oh no,
It's a mental wish list.
yeah, that right there. I would love to get season 2.
Yeah, I
But
didn't pop it in. I mean, I've watched them all online, so it's just kind of for the collection, you know.
well,
They might not even work as far as I know, and I'm happy with it.
I get that too. I don't. I still like my physical copies. I basically have a small version of Blockbuster here.
You're right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
patient films, but more horror. It's more of a horror genre than Disney, but there's still Disney in there.
sure. I actually have a whole box of old Disney VHSs from the 90s that don't seem to be worth as much as we thought they were going to be back when we bought them 30 years ago. So if anyone wants to buy any of them, they are on my eBay, I believe.
It depends on how many phallic images there are in the cover.
Yeah, I think these were revised. I don't know if those ever made it. Did that castle ever make it to a VHS, or was that just a theatrical poster? Does anyone
I
know?
mean, honestly, it was probably like the first printing, first run.
Yeah, I don't think I have any of those really cool ones.
That's what happens when you disrespect your animators.
Word. Although I might have like the rescuers with the porn in it and stuff. I'm not sure, you know. Like
I
if it's in the movie and not on the cover, it's probably there.
I have my
So
copy of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
nice.
You know,
Any other questions? No. What was I gonna ask you? Let's see. Um. Oh yeah, let's talk about because I saw him here. Yeah, that's Psycho, right?
yes, I've only made two members of Guello so far.
Guello, yes. What's your relationship with green Jello?
Um, a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually have a I have a quite a few of their CDs. I think I'm missing two, like their last two that they have, but I have a few of their singles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a few members approach me wanting to make figures of them, which was awesome and an honor. You know, I've made 4 figures, but for 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Ask Freely? Yep.
Oops. Let's see. Is this John, right?
I
Oops.
I only know him for his stage.
Fender Stacks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I met him on tour this summer when I went out back out with. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm member 237 of Green Jello, and I am Kevin the Dinosaur. Although I don't have I need to figure out my whole like set costume situation because I've had a couple different forms. And I'm not an active enough member to really like figure it out. But it was fun going back on the, doing a couple shows with them. And I met some of these newer guys like Fender, and I saw um you got not him,
Yeah,
Jelvis, right?
yeah, Jelvis. I think Jelvis was the first one to approach me.
Yeah.
I had a
Well,
panic
I met
attack.
them. We all played together. There was like 30 of us on stage playing guitars. It was madness. It was hilarious.
That
And
paint
what
job.
was funny for me was because like these are like the new breed of green jello. They've kind of taken over. And they're like I met like member 1114. And I think most of these guys are in like the later hundreds. And I'm 237, and I think I was the most senior member of the band besides Bill, like at the moment. It was hilarious. I was
That,
like, and I feel like I feel like I'm misplaced because I'm like from a different era, you know?
you're that in between. Like
Yeah, I joined in 2008, so it was before the franchise bands. That's when like the numbers like really went crazy. I was like just as they were ending touring like a normal lineup, and then I was the first New York City franchise band.
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then, you know, eventually it's hard to find a band because sometimes he doesn't show up to shows. Love Green Jello, but it's a chaotic scene and you got to know how to roll with it, and most casual musicians, they don't want to deal with that bullshit and I get it. And I saw um the Guello version. Once I didn't have anyone to play with me, the Guello version kind of took over the New York East Coast band, and I saw them at a show where Bill didn't show up, and I was like laughing my ass off. It's like, it didn't happen to me this time.
I unfortunately never got to see Green Jello live.
Oh man. Well, I think they're gonna do a 30th anniversary of Serial Killer tour coming up this year.
That
So
oh, the times I met Gwar.
yes, talk about that. Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry, I got sidetracked. See, I just went on a whole thing.
uh, we're gonna be here for a long time. Yeah, question. I'm fine with that. I get when we stop talking, I'm probably gonna start sculpting again. So
Well, yeah, well, that odorous.
yeah. I'm also working. I have two that I'm getting close to being done. I have a Cardinal Sin, which
Have
here
you
I'll show
not
you
made
my
a
old.
Cardinal Sin, or is this a different version of Cardinal Sin?
This is my first Cardinal Sin. I'm
Nice.
not that proud of it, only because it's it was the first one, and he doesn't really have this. He looks more like an Autobot. You know what I mean? He looks more like a
Mm,
Transformer with his head. I made one for Matt Miner,
cool.
which I did for a trade. I did it as a trade off for like that first before it goes out to fully print when it was like the black and white issue of,
Mm, mm-hmm.
and I ended up making one that looked a little better, but it was a smaller size.
Right.
I'm doing one that's kind of an in between, and I'll show you.
Yeah, let's see it.
He's mostly baked. I'm not really happy about the halo, but he has minor movements. He's
Oh,
not really.
that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this was an expensive Power Rangers Z figure,
Ah.
but yeah, you wouldn't believe some of the things I destroyed. Like Ed in the Rambo, I ended up using that little guy in the wheelchair in Nightmare Before Christmas,
Okay.
and that thing's worth money.
Yeah. So the collectors right now are like, "Oh my God, how could you?"
Well, if Toy Story is real in any way, I'm a horrible human being. Like I'm basically torturing toys for my own amusement.
Yeah, but look what look what you're creating out of it.
Good point.
And before we get back into the original question, Sean wants to know if you're single. Wink, wink.
I'm
We're gonna
I'm
have a Gwar love connection on the pod.
I'm in I've been in a happily polyamorous relationship for 16 years, going on 16.
Holy shit. That we could do a whole other podcast about that.
There's no trick to it. Fall in love with your best friend.
Hmm.
It's that simple, you know.
That's lovely.
And brutal honesty.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, not being brutal, but
No,
just
I get it. Yeah, yeah.
being honest. Like it's hard because
The honest truth is we all want to fuck other people too. It doesn't mean we love you any less, right? Did I get it right?
somewhat to a degree. It's not like an open thing. I'd rather have a connection with someone before
Sure.
its fluids start
In
flying.
its most basic form.
But,
So tell me about meeting Gwar.
so, I met Sleazy, and Sleazy that was around the time, like I said, I was losing the house and losing the family, and so I felt low. That was a very low point, and I think that you know my partner and my roommate we're just like, okay, well, we need to do something, and found out that Sleazy was going to be up there signing autographs and doing things. So went up like 5 hour, 6 hour trip and met him. And honestly, humble as hell. Like he saw the figures, he was ecstatic when he saw
Which ones
Tiny.
did you bring? Or did you bring any like with you, actual?
Oh no,
Or
I
did you just show them pictures?
brought Tiny. I brought like basically most of the core band. This is like I probably had about like 10 figures.
That
I
must have been like a whole bag.
Yeah, which is funny because the next time I saw Sleazy, I had two really big totes to bring, and now I don't even know if I could even bring them.
No,
But
your collection's too big.
the second time, honestly, is probably one of the greatest moments that if I could ever repeat a day, have a Groundhog Day, it would have to be that moment. Um, the second time I saw Sleazy, I also met Matt. He finally seen the figures.
Which Matt? McGuire?
Matt Miner and Matt
Matt?
McGuire.
Okay.
This is when I dropped off the 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 Cardinal Sin for
Mm-hmm.
Miner, and he was like, he not only gave me that comic, he gave me a few other covers and stuff like that, which was so awesome. And Ballsack, Sleazy, and Sawborg were there.
Nice.
And actually a lot of the artists and people I've talked to on the page, on the fan sites and stuff, it was great. Meeting a lot of the people and actually getting to talk to them. And
Mm-hmm. I met Dirks
had to
once
bring
for like 3 seconds. But come on the show, buddy. We'd love to have you.
he was hard to. I spoke to him for a few seconds. He said something and it just made me laugh, and he walked away. He walked out like a pimp. If he had like
What did he say? Or what did you? Yeah.
So I'll fast forward because I ramble. I brought all the figures and I started setting them up. They were taking pictures. Once they got out of costume, Don and Matt actually sat on the floor with me, and I'm setting up all the figures. They're taking pictures. They're actually telling me some interesting stories about Dave and stuff. And Dirk's like comes up and he's looking. He comes up and he doesn't sit down. He looks. He's looking. He's like, what's this one? What's that one? And he goes, where's the X Cops?
Hmm.
And I go, well, I haven't made them yet. And he goes, well, your collection is bullshit then. And he walks. And that like I was almost in tears laughing because it was just, and I was like, you know what, you're kind of right. So shortly after, I only have 2 more X Cop members to make. So my collection's almost not bullshit. But
Right.
that
Which
had me like,
ones? I'm trying to find them. I know I went through them before.
you know what, I have
Here we go. Here's some of them.
This.
Zipper Pig.
I think that was my first one. I had to make Zipper Pig.
Yeah,
And
hell yeah.
you know this from the actual book. This is the checklist.
Oh, wow. Okay. Gotcha. Yep.
So who do I got here? Just Tub Tucker, Kyle Benobler, Zipper Pig, Biff
Oh,
Buck.
That's Sean.
Bill McCrevis, and Lou Scagnetti. Those are, I still got.
Do all of them even have like representations of like? Because what I don't know. Have you made and uh and additionally, have you made ROG? Are you gonna make ROG?
I've actually thought about making ROG.
Because if you don't have ROG, then your collection's bullshit, man.
Kind of at this point.
Are you gonna do the Satan skins?
I didn't think about that.
Ooh, you gotta add that to the list. Satan
Uh,
skins, toe enamel. Well,
so
there is versions of him that you've probably done, but
I've done toe enamel.
yeah.
Yeah, I've done most of the people off the Hell tour.
Yeah. What were these made out of? These look like Dick Tracy's. Am I correct?
No, again, wrestling figures. Those are all.
Wrestling, okay.
Yeah, that one. I sculpt the hat was sculpt. I made that out of clay. The trench coat itself, that was a donation. Someone gave me that, and I switched it with another wrestler. And I think I switched the lower arms because and everything else the tie, the collar, everything, the buttons, that's all clay.
That's great. It's okay, John. I destroy a lot of Ninja Turtle figures to make what I make and other figures. Nice. I'm mostly baked too. Hell yeah, Sean. He has something in common with your baked goods here. You said that you're making some non-GWAR related stuff. What do you got going on? Do you have your own characters that you're going to be creating?
I do have a comic book that I've been working on. I've actually I also write. Like
Okay.
I write
Yeah, I didn't know. Tell me about that.
the
Oh,
poetry.
and then that's right. We were going to talk about your poetry. So you were talking about how you write poetry right before we started the show. And the thing I wanted to wait to the show to mention is that made me remember there was a time when Dave wanted to do a spoken turd record.
I remember that. That would have been great.
Yeah. So, Dave's okay with your turdy poetry, I'm sure.
Well, like I've been working on like making my own comic. I have something that's copyrighted. I just have to do finishing touches. It's taken for years, but
Anything you can reveal?
yeah, I think actually I actually uh, point out the whole comic book, Zombie Royal. It's it's basically a nod to like a lot of horror movies, exploitation films. The title is from like the movie Battle Royal, which is an amazing movie if you've never seen.
Yeah, I saw the first one. I never saw the sequels.
Um, honestly, now I have them both. I enjoy them for different reasons, but you're almost better off leaving it as that one.
It's been a while.
Just
It's probably been at least 15 years since I've seen that.
it's more of an impact if it's just that one movie. The mangas are amazing. But and it's more of a premise of the Running Man,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
and it's kind of like a game show comic book. You have a Crypt Keeper character who's the host, and he's like there's commercials in it, and it's a zombie game show.
Mm-hmm.
I started it before like zombie things got like really crazy and out of hand, and it didn't matter because it's kind of at a point where it's not as popular. So I probably get it published now.
Mm.
Um, I have another one that's kind of again another nod to like um, Universal Monsters.
Okay.
I have a book that I'm working on that's it's going to be a 4-part series called Frank, and the first one's a western, and
Mm.
that was even before I moved to Texas. Yeah, it takes place in Texas, and he's a 4-armed gunslinger, and it's real foul mouthed, and you know, if you know your old films and you're a Vincent Price fan, stuff like that,
Mm.
you'll get a I know you're a fan of Lon Chaney.
Yeah, if you know anything about me, I love my Gwar and I love my Phantom of the Opera.
I have
So
I have a
that's
werewolf.
if I turned around the other direction, it would be my Phantom cave. Here's my
I'm a
Gwar
fan of
cave and my Phantom lair is what I call it. And lots of toys too.
what's your favorite like version or variation of Phantom?
Oh man, see that's the question I usually ask you, so you're turning it around on me. That's tough because
I have
you
I
go
do have an answer.
first.
So it's nothing's ever simple. Um, Phantom himself, I'm gonna go with Lon Chaney.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
to. Like, I mean, it's fucking Lon Chaney.
He's
You
probably
know,
the best portrayal of the character, although as with all Phantom movies and versions, it still has its flaws, and I could
oh,
go on forever about that.
it, I mean, the story could use a little tweaking. It's not a perfect
It's
story.
still there until April, so if somebody wants to buy me some tickets, I'm looking to go see it at least once before it closes again.
And was it Andrew Lloyd Webber? That's the
Yeah.
that to me that story is amazing. I
Yeah.
all that in
Probably probably the musical actually is probably my favorite because it was my intro to it all, you know.
you know,
What's the best portrayal of the character? Probably Lon Chaney, but the rest of the movie's a mess. He directed his own scenes, and those are like masterpieces. And the original version of the movie is lost to time, so we can't even see it, you know? So, like, they actually made it stupider before they actually released it to the public. So, they took out the graveyard scene and the original ending, you know, and they made it like this weird action thing at the end, which is totally ridiculous. So it also has its flaws. But I also love the Robert Englund version for
I love
reasons.
general. I'm a Freddie fan.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love what he was trying to do. I mean, again, like it has its flaws. It's a canon movie, so obviously it's going to be limited to its budget and leftover sets, which were from London in that version. You know, and
So
but holy shit, like the director was great, and yeah, it deserves a rewatch. And I love, especially being in New York, how it's bookended by modern day New York. Well, modern day back then was like 1989.
yeah.
But it starts at Tower Records in New York City, and I'm like, I've been there. You know, that's so crazy.
So here, let me grab some non-Guar stuff that I'm
Yeah, let's see it.
kind of proud of. So like I said, big horror fan, big Frank Henlotter fan.
Mm,
You guys ever seen Frankenhooker?
yeah, I saw that on your page.
Um, well, I won't show you everything, but
Who was I talking to about that the other day?
she does have her little checkpoint.
Oh, Michael T. If you want to watch my regular show, Von Pod, we were talking about Frank Henenlotter the other day. He's not a big fan of Frankenhooker, but he loves Basket Case.
Basket Case is amazing. I love that. I love the.
Yeah,
I like the sequels a lot because of the different.
really,
I
the
mean,
characters.
story wise, the first again.
I
That's
never finished the sequels. I don't know. Maybe I need to try again, but I was like, what the fuck is going on?
usually yeah. Don't go in expecting Spartacus. You know what I mean?
No, no.
Um, but I made a four set of Orgasmo. I don't know if you ever seen the
Hell
Orgasmo.
yeah, I love Orgasmo.
So
Oh wow.
and I plan to make Orgasmo figures not as like I'm gonna make every character. I would love to make as if Orgasmo was a movie that's not
Hmm.
a comedy. Like
Right,
if
right,
they
right.
made a porn, like I want to make T Rex and the crab girl and all that like
Right.
show the dog.
The characters, sure. Oh man.
Show is
Chota Boy, right?
yep. Got his
Yeah,
handcuffs. All this stuff
that's
comes
great.
off and
Okay,
uh,
did you have to sculpt that penis? Like, did you borrow that from something else?
no. You'd be surprised on how much phallic stuff. When you're a Guar fan and you're gonna make every Guar thing, I mean, dude, they throw dicks into everything. They really do.
They just stare at you, these dicks. I don't know. It's
If
it's
there-
it's a
if
little
there's a blank-
unnerving.
If there's a blank spot, they're putting a dick there.
Hey, speaking of Gwar dicks, I wanted to ask you about these toys as well. Did you get any of these cool odorous toys that came out recently? The Hop toys.
No, what I did. It's
I got some of them. I think I'm missing one of them or two of them. I'm not sure, but I got the red one, and this one also glows in the dark. So this and my cuttlefish kind of like scare me at night. You know,
see, that's all.
very cool. I was lucky. I forgot I even ordered them, and they came in. I was like, oh my god, I did buy them. Yes.
That's a hell of a surprise. I like that.
Yeah, because I don't think I ever got an order confirmation. So, and then it took them like over a year to ship. So I just like kind of forgot about it for some of
No,
them.
I don't have them. I don't have the little guys yet, which I plan to get.
Yeah, that was my other Gwar news, everybody. This is the segment we like to call Gwar news. My Gwar news is that I got these guys in the mail this week.
Awesome.
So this is the new batch. They're cute, you know. I guess they're gonna continue. I want a Destructo pack next. I think a Techno Bozo Sawborg would be appropriate.
I would love that. Absolutely.
And here's the original 3.
Nice.
You know, it's funny they haven't made an odorist yet.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're gonna do the dick. You know, they're a little flat. You know.
honestly, he might be low and hanging low. So
Where
No,
maybe, yeah, maybe they can make the cuttlefish removable, and that would just be a set on its own.
not a terrible idea. I mean,
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea at all. The only thing
people love their odorous toys.
the only thing I have that's even remote, like from them, that's even remote, like kind of figures are these guys. This is my my box.
Oh yes.
This is the Rumble in Antarctica box.
Was that box? Did you make it, or was that an official item as well?
No, I made this.
Okay.
I was working at I was doing construction at that time. I was working at a mill, and during lunch hours when no one was around, I was making this. So I don't know if this is gonna look well.
Don't break anything. Oh wow, that's a lot of autographs. Oh, let me move the other way.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy shit. Nice.
Oh yeah, I made these guys like I didn't just get like okay I got a Sawborg. I got them to make a slave write a slave character.
Mm-hmm.
I have Anton Reamcobb. I have Flopsy.
Oh wow.
You know.
Wait, who signed for Anton?
Chuck.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck.
Wow.
Chuck voices, he does the voice.
Right. That makes sense. That's great.
So, the last tour I've been to, I didn't see the last tour, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, it was a good show.
With Hunter, I don't know if you can even see these. Maybe with the.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this I got clear plexi, so I can. I'm gonna try to hold this up for you. I know I have pictures on my thing, but let's see. You know,
Oh, cool.
They're all displayed.
Wow. See, that is the hole in my collection. See, I got all the modern toys, but like I don't have any other Antarctica ones.
The big ones.
Let me see if I can. Let's see if I don't destroy my setup by doing this. But let's zoom in. I'm just grabbing my laptop, and that's my other some Gwar toys, and there's an Andrew WK thrown in there for good measure. And some of them are the sleazy nodders. Uh-oh, I'm breaking shit. You know.
Dude, that's awesome.
We got yeah, these are the sleazy made nodders, and then these are from like the 2000s, whatever series that was.
Don sculpted those. I have
And then this one was just like a one-off, I think. Right. It's a little damaged.
Yeah.
Some Gwar cast stuff, you know.
Right.
Oh, and then let's see. I'm gonna break some shit trying to like grab all these things. Oh, that's what I heard fall off before. His
antlers.
His antlers fell off, but you know, I can't believe the Blothar is just so bizarre, crazy looking. So
Yeah, it's
that's my toy collection.
the
I'm a
only
big fan of this one.
like the only duplicate I have of these guys are is like the exposed odorous. I
That's
love this.
from the Rumble in Antarctica.
Yeah, this was the you could get two different odors, and like one
Oh,
he's holding the sword, the other one he's
that's
kind of
cool.
hanging brain, I guess.
Hmm.
And I painted this thing with this mirror paint, and I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorites. It's my only duplicate, but I have zero intentions on getting rid of it.
Hmm.
Um
Wow.
oh here the I made two villains for Orgasmo. Nuded Man
Nice.
and
You know, let me see if I can pull up a picture. My old roommate, dressed as Orgasmo for Halloween once. Oh, that figure's canceled.
I know.
Hey,
I keep them in the back of the collection.
that can double as a chicken heads figure if you ever start making chicken heads, because he was in a chicken heads video once.
That'd be cool. That'd be
Lick,
really
pest control, if anyone wants to look it up. They probably want to bury that now, but shh. It was before we knew that he was such a monster.
yeah.
I gotta try to find my my old roommate's Orgasmo costume. It got destroyed during the night because we went to a concert, but it was fun.
Yeah, you get lost in the moment.
Yeah.
And if you're anything like me in the show, I want to get as close as I can.
Yeah, if you know, I've had the good problem the past some years because my two favorite bands both likes to play on Halloween in New York City, so I have to choose between them. And traditionally it was the World Inferno Friendship Society, but then GWAR suddenly just had a knack for playing New York City on Halloween, and I was like, God damn it, GWAR's kind of always going to win.
Yeah.
Now there's not going to be a competition anymore because the guy from World Inferno died. Very tragic. We're very, very sad about it. But so GWAR, I missed GWAR this Halloween, but I went to the Philly show. I had to go see him. Yeah, that was a question. Actually, you missed the show, but what did you think of the new album?
I can't think of an album I don't like, and
Hmm.
there's albums I listen to more than others.
Do you have a favorite GWAR album?
It changes. Sometimes like I'm listening to Hello a lot. I like the poor quality. I like black metal music, so it doesn't bother me too much.
Gotcha.
Um, but I mean,
Here, I found it.
that's awesome.
Right? Yeah, that didn't last all night because it was a crazy punk rock show, but at least we got a picture beforehand.
That's awesome. And it would have been great if someone went as a Chota Boy. Just seeing that thing bouncing around at a punk show was just.
Maybe I should have done that. Yeah. He put more thought into his costume that year than I did. Yeah, hell yeah. Do you like the chicken heads?
Do I like them? I do. Do I? I don't own anything though. Unfortunately, It's
Yeah.
something
That would be a whole nother world. Like, if you started doing those, that's like a whole nother galaxy.
Yeah, I probably won't use wrestling figures for them. I'd probably do something a little bit more creative, something more of their style.
Well, besides the singer Carrot Top, who is a guest on my show VonPod, if you go back and want to see that episode, I was actually a member of the Radioactive Chickenheads in 2008 to tour as a touring lineup to open for Green Jelly, and that's how I got involved with Green Jelly as well.
Nice.
So make Bird Brain, because I was Bird Brain.
All right. That'll be the first one.
Love, hello, yes, folks talk shit about quality. That music is best, and this relates to something else we were talking about before we started the broadcast. Hello from Shimmy Disc, famous for releasing King Missile.
Oh yeah, the
Kramer, right?
Yep. The crazy hippie known as Kramer.
You're a big King Missile fan. I haven't kept up with them, but Yeah, I had some of their stuff back in the day. I love steal stuff from work.
And you know what? I kind of agree. Um, I like everything. I like from Bollywood music to black metal. Like
Yeah, do you have any Bollywood recommendations for someone getting
um,
into Bollywood music?
I'll be honest. There's a guy that I was listening to, and I couldn't give you a proper name, like a title for the song. I don't want to disrespect by saying his name wrong, but I believe it's Dala Mindy, and he's awesome. Like I think that music it makes you dance, it makes you want to move.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know, and there's like, is that Bali metal or was it a bloody metal? I forgot what it's called, but there's a group that kind of mixes the two together, and
Hmm.
I think it well. I love the percussions, and
Yeah, me too, Sean. It's a big hole in my collection, but also like, where are you gonna get them, and how much are they gonna be? Jeez.
yeah, it was one of those like get them at the right time, and because
Yeah.
basically the I don't want to say old Gwar, but a lot of the older members, a lot of the stuff like kind of crumbled shortly after that, and they kind of that's when they kind of I don't even say
Yeah.
reboot themselves, but they
Kind of like the violence has arrived era.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and that took away, that's when the comic books stopped for a long time, and that's when most of the times it was patches, stickers, and shirts.
Check out Al Namru. There's a death black metal band from Saudi Arabia. All right, cool.
Check it out, absolutely.
Sure.
Jason knows his music. He's introduced me to things I never even thought of like
Nice.
checking out. So
Yeah, I like weird combinations of stuff, and that's why I love things like Gwar. It's just like there's nothing like it, you know, not even just musically, but like the whole thing. If it's totally original and it's good, I'm into it.
yeah, same.
And if there's a concept to it, even better.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for concept. So yeah, I'm with you on
What's
that.
what's your favorite Gwar song? Do you have a favorite Gwar song?
No, I mean, there's songs that I listen to more than all. Like I do like Immortal Corruptor. I know everyone likes that song, but I do. It just when they do some of the breakdown in there, and everything just comes back. It, it's it's awesome. I'll definitely stomp to it.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. What about Gwar like movie or production, like visual VHS? Let's say VHS.
The V like I mean I don't know.
I know
That's
these are tough questions.
like I would say production value wise, I really do like Skullhead Face. Um, Knowing what I know, like from listening to like the documentary to listening to honestly GWARPod and everything, a lot of those things I thought were like disjointed. I'm like, oh, it's confusing. It's kind of like a day in the life of Gwar. This,
It's
without any,
totally disjointed.
you know,
But even
they,
so, I do think Skullhead Face is like one of the coolest B movies ever, even if it existed alone in the Gwar universe. Like if that was the only Gwar thing out there, it was just made up for the movie. I think that
yeah,
should be a cult classic that people should talk about more.
I, I,
You
I
don't
would
have to be into Gwar to love Skullhead Face.
honestly, I don't have a lot of friends that are into metal, especially growing up.
Mm-hmm.
The way I introduced people to Gwar was through their movies
Mm-hmm.
or their interviews.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
you can make a Gwar fan just by listening to Odorous like tear down somebody. You
Yeah.
know,
Just one of my favorite intros to them is his Red Eye segments.
yeah,
I mean, it's comic gold. Odorous on Fox News, just
and
some of the most brilliant stuff I've ever heard.
and the satire is so damn sweet you could taste it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I love it. So
Yeah.
I would normally send someone if they're not into that music. I would send them to at least check out the show. I had a few friends of mine that hate metal music, but they'll go to a GWAR show because they know that it's going to be funny as hell. That
Yeah.
it's entertaining
It's a plus if you like the music, but you don't have to. You could like either or, for
yeah,
sure.
I agree. I'll admit I fell in love with their image first because I didn't know that they were even a band at first.
Mhm.
And yeah, once my first album was Scum Dogs, and I fell in love with that. And my family hated GWAR.
You played it for your family?
There wasn't much of a choice.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like if everyone was home and big TVs in the living room, and yeah, I was blasting it. My dad would laugh. You know, he's a big fan of dick and fart jokes. My mom hated them. You know,
Yeah, I have this haunting memory of my father who's deceased now, so it's fine. But I was like typing up GWAR lyrics and he like came on like I was pretty young. I was probably like 11 or 12 years old and it was like, "Have you seen me?" I was just like typing up the lyrics for myself because this was kind of like when the internet was very like I don't think I even had pictures online yet,
yeah.
like before it was even graphics based. And he was probably drunk enough to not remember it, but he was just like, "What is this? Just no." It was just like, I don't really have the time to explain GWAR to you right now.
A couple times I had to turn it off.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Have you seen me?
when,
That's like the worst one to get caught with.
I played Toward the Scum, so there was a few
It's in there for
babies
sure.
flying into the audience. Yeah,
Did you
that's
make them?
one.
You did. You made the milk cartons, right?
I wouldn't say I made them.
No.
If you look at the book, if you look at the This Is GWAR book, they actually have like an image of both pictures. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I got them scanned because, like I said, I don't know how to use technology, and I got them printed out, and yeah, I just cut it out. It
Oh,
technically
okay.
it's
That's
fine.
cool. I'm trying to
I
find
can't count.
them.
It's a background thing.
hmm There's so many. Oh my God. I gotta go back to your Facebook and show some more GWAR CrAction figures, but I'm trying to find that one in particular now that we're talking about it. Is
Mhm.
there any favorite GWAR characters that you have that like maybe you're specifically excited to make as a toy?
For the future,
In general.
I was really excited to make uh, Don's Techno. Now, not the one
Mm,
when both not when Hunter left, because that's
yeah.
Don was basically in Hunter's suit. But the time before that, and when he became Bozo Destructo, there was two Techno Destructos, and they were
Hmm.
together. Um, that character meant a lot to me because that was the first time. That was the door to the rabbit hole for me.
Oh yeah. Well, how so?
Well, for the longest time, I thought like the only you had the core members of GWAR, plus everyone off that you see all the time, and then you had Nicholas Erectus because you
hmm
see an image of him in a little
Here we go.
Scum Dogs. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, they had a drummer. Yes, they had a drummer, and so I thought that was it. That was the group. Um, Ended up getting a bootleg one day, and it was really early on. It was one of the I think even before probably between Hello and Scum Dogs, I saw this guy who sounds like Sleazy,
Sleazy. Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, who the hell is this? And like that's when I started kind of studying and realizing that there's way more. So I don't know if he's my favorite character, but I think this one in particular.
Do you remember which show that was? Which bootleg?
Um, I know they at the beginning of it had Anton Cobb. I'm not sure of the actual like. I'm pretty sure it's
Gotcha.
written down, but that's all the way up there, and I'm too short to get it right
Don't
now.
worry about it. Yeah.
But yeah, this I was really happy to make him. He was he really I don't know. He kind of like made me want to do more and get
So
deep.
wait, what's the other version? There's another version of techno
Uh,
as Don as techno than that one.
well, you have the earlier one, which he was basically wearing the same thing. I didn't make that yet.
Oh, okay.
I,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I know.
um, I did. I made a couple of techno destructos, so, but
Yeah, I
not
see. I've seen.
Let me see what I got here. My favorite one is this one, which I call techno incognito.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
I don't. I'm assuming you've seen this tour.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I can't place it in my mind right now, but I know I recognize
well,
because that was like after Chuck left, right? So he kind of like, is that
yeah,
from Penguins?
no.
No.
This was I'm gonna say it wrong, but I think surprisingly chocolatey burst of fudge or
Yeah, yeah.
chocolatey fudge.
I think it's surprising burst of chocolatey fudge.
I should know it. I have.
Halloween 1997, I believe.
I, you might be right, but like he does
Here,
the
keep talking for a second.
he does this the same he does Sexecution song, and
Right. Oh yeah, that's
in the
right.
middle of it he starts la 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 techno, and
Here,
I thought that was the coolest thing, and
I got it.
this yes.
A surprising burst of chocolatey fudge.
So and I honestly this one has a better base of techno.
An
Uh,
original, apparently. How cool is that? VHS.
I have two versions of that because there's like an alternate cover.
Oh yeah, I think I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that you have an alternate
I'm
cover. I'll
trying.
buy it.
I'm trying. Yeah, I have two Return of Technos. So that's
No,
my duplicate, not duplicate, but like different versions of the same VHS.
I would actually like to see that sometime. I don't.
I'll pull it out for you. Let me stand up for a second.
No, check this out.
Cause yeah, I love me these techno. I got lucky. Someone sold me a bundle of tapes over the last year, and it's like holy crap, this is filling in some holes in my collection. Here, let me show you. So this is, I think this is the first one, and it kind of like has a
That's the one I have.
yeah. So this it has like a full front and back kind of cover, and I don't know if this
I,
is I don't know if it's an original copy of the tape, but because it has, you know, it had no labels on it, I made them myself. But the second version, I
uh,
think maybe a little slightly re-edited. I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to compare them closely, but it's got like a different. These are like the Scumdog era picture on the back, and I guess that's the official label.
very
So
nice.
yeah, there's actually two versions of that. Nerd alert.
No, so,
We are the Gwar nerds for sure.
yeah. It's. I don't have an AJ Good collection as
Oh
much as I.
no, I don't collect the costumes. Like that's my limit. Like I toys, CDs, vinyl, VHS, DVDs, that's kind of my bag. Shirts, I don't even try. Costumes, forget about it.
If I could afford, I would.
I don't have the space either. I wouldn't be able to give them the proper storage that they deserve. So somebody else please do that. I will visit one day.
If I was able to get like full props, I'd learn how to sleep standing up. I'll make room.
Sure. Yeah. Well, they maybe if you make them some offers, I don't know, you could end up with some props.
Oh,
You
it's
must have made a meat grinder, right? I'm trying to find it.
I got it.
Oh, he's got it. Like I don't know if he's ever been put in the meat grinder, but I'm sure he's made one.
I debated bringing this one down,
Hmm.
but yeah.
Let's check it out. Oh wow, that really is to scale. What did you use to make that one?
Again, not proud of this because I'm a Freddy Krueger fan.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is Freddy's boiler room,
Hmm.
and I'm not sure where I got this from. This eventually breaking enough plastic
Who
figures.
who put out a boiler room? McFarland?
Yeah, yeah. So it was a McFarlane, but you know, I it's one of those. Do I work on my collection? I could sit and wait and buy one and stuff like that and leave this one, but I'm not like that. Like honestly, a lot of things the things that I do that I'm not exactly proud of, I could do better if I took more time and was patient and got the things I wanted. But I want to get this. I want to get it done.
It's got that GWAR quality though to it. Like their costumes, obviously they've been more polished over the years, but they're still not like Hollywood polished. So it's got that grimy quality to it that I think translates to your toys.
The artists that they have working on them now are just amazing, amazing. Great sculptors, the paint job,
Yeah.
everything. Uh,
Um, fuck, I'm forgetting her name right now, but I'd love to have
uh,
her on my show.
Maggot Grace. I
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I made a figure of her.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
Let's see.
Or should I pull up a picture?
You might have to pull that one up. Um,
Maggot Grace. Yes, that's Margaret. Margaret, please come on the show. I'd love to talk to you. I haven't reached out to a lot of people, but if they happen to see this and they want to say hi, by all means.
Absolutely. Um, I did make a few. I'm not paint. I haven't painted them yet.
So I know
So
she's finally officially part of the Slave Pit lineup, but she doesn't really get on stage, right?
no, she's the spew stress. She's basically
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes spewing.
Right.
I
Yeah.
will eventually make a full stage, like with back and
Oh,
everything,
cool.
spew tanks,
Oh
which
my God.
set up.
Yeah,
That
are they really gonna spew and everything?
um, I thought about that. It wouldn't be hard to do. I
Mm-hmm.
have to, unfortunately, it would be something that I would have to either make something to go over my figures, like if I wanted to make Odorous do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I have making speakers, which I do plan to put like actual speakers under it, so it
Mm.
will play.
Wow.
I wanna have a world maggot that's stage worthy instead of like the big guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to have the grinder. Like I plan to do as much as an accurate stage show as possible, and I wanted to do that for my 200th,
Mm.
but
What
you
number are
know,
you up to now? And do you include like the props and stuff as
pending on props, like not little stuff. Like I made Slimenstra's tampon like sheet
mm-hmm.
thing.
Right.
I didn't full flow tampon. I don't count that, but I count like the nitro burning funny bong,
Mm-hmm.
which I basically someone gave me some Playmobil pirate toys.
Okay.
You know,
I'm not familiar with those.
um, it's kind of like Legos, but not really.
Uh-huh.
It's they're kid toys, and they just I had a pirate set, so I had a bunch of cannons. I'm like, well, turn this one
Mm.
into the bong, and then
Hell yeah.
I made a crapapult that actually
Yeah,
works.
I saw that. I was so impressed with the Crepapole. I was like, yes, that is digging in the archives there.
Yeah, honestly,
I'm just gonna keep scrolling through your page so people can see this stuff while we're talking.
yeah, no problem.
Did you? Oh yeah, I missed this show because it was one of those COVID shows.
Yeah, I wasn't
Does
there.
this character have a name? Is this Fauci?
I don't know if they have a name for this one.
Yeah,
Um,
I only saw pictures in a couple videos. That was like when they were doing shows for cars,
yeah, exactly. No, I
those
missed
COVID shows.
that. I want to
Yeah.
redo that Sleazy's setup.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, it was just cardboard. I could definitely do something a little bit better.
It's sleazy. Talking about a mess of a movie. I think that's the mess of a movie.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if
You,
you
I can't believe you even did the audience. Oh, you know, who you need in your audience? I don't know if you made them, but Godhead. Did you make
no,
Godhead?
no, honestly, whatever I took, what I already had,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I just kind of like mashed a few in there. But no, I plan to. That's a hard one because there's
There's
no
those
good.
two guys from Godhead in there in the audience there.
I still need to make that version of Pope and everything.
Right. What's next? What's on the docket?
Well, I have a few I have to make for other people. Here, actually, you might appreciate some of these.
I'm sure I will.
All right, so I just thought this thing was funny. Have you ever heard of? I assume you have Guarcidio Hall.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 minutes to midnight.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
well, what got me going? They had one where they had a Guar's lawyer, Subpoenas Maximus.
Yeah, I remember that. I think that was the first one I saw because I was like,
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
attracted to
So
the name, you know.
exactly. So I have to make Guar's,
Wow,
Subpoenas Maximus.
that's funny. What did you make
Um,
that out of?
um, it was a between two wrestlers. It was a guy with a suit. Whenever I don't know if you ever seen a grown ass man like just tear through the toy area in a Walmart, but I'm that guy.
Sure.
So I'm like just going through these things. I don't know who these wrestlers are. So there's a guy who has like the beard and the bigger face.
I stopped watching wrestling in like 1994, so I probably wouldn't know.
Yeah, like someone had to tell me that the Ultimate Warrior died. You know,
Hmm.
that's as far as I go. I remember that the Undertaker was an Undertaker, and there was a
I
guy called
remember when the Undertaker didn't say shit and it was cool.
scared the crap out of you.
Yeah, I actually saw him live once at an event. This was before everything was televised when they would show selections of what they actually tore on.
Yeah, yeah.
And Undertaker comes in. This was like back when he didn't talk. He was a new character. He was cool, creepy. He had the pallbearer with him. He
Hmm.
came in. He got the guy in the finishing move, the tombstone, did it. The match was over, put him in the body bag. It was like 3 seconds. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I think that
With
was the
that, I've
same
also
show I saw. I saw Macho Man fight Ric Flair, and it was so bad that they definitely never televised that.
that's great.
Yeah, they were
I
just like laughing the whole time.
I have that man's rap album.
Macho Man?
Yeah,
Wow, I forgot about that. I don't know if I knew about that.
it is exactly the way what you would think it is. I
Yeah, of course.
but I mean there's a love ballad in there.
There's your maggot.
That's that's a plastic plunger,
Oh wow, that makes so much sense. Yeah,
a
it
clean
looks
one.
like it could be. You know, are you sure that wasn't a fleshlight?
No, but I tell you what, if you're venturous enough, it still can be.
Yeah, right. Yeah, careful of those teeth. It's just so impressive, like how many characters you've done, and you have the space to store all these somewhere. Like that's also impressive.
I have a few shelves. What I would like to do is just take a wall and just do enough to put one at a time, so I could actually look at them.
Hmm.
And now they're all kind of stacked and piled. I have another display case that kind of focuses on tours and our shows.
Hmm.
Like I have all my black and white "Have You Seen Me" video. They're
Right, right.
together, real cool.
Make a stop motion Gwar concert video.
I've thought about that. There's a couple people that have approached me about doing stop motion, and I'm a sucker for that kind of art anyway.
That is some discipline right there.
Yeah, yeah. I'll never be a Ray Harryhausen, but
Hmm.
I was always impressed with that kind of work.
Hey, talk about green jelly. That's green jelly right there.
That's what brought. I mean, they're constant. Well, they were the first like concert, well, not concert, video based band. Right?
Yeah, world's first music video only band, which didn't last very long.
Although I have the single where it says the first video only band
Yeah,
as first single, which I thought was
the
hilarious.
Green Jello Sucks single.
Yes.
Yeah. See, what happened was they put that out because they were just so ridiculous of a gimmick. They thought they could only sell the videos. Three Little Pigs hit it huge, and that's why they put out the soundtrack, because they were video only band. Yeah, that didn't last very long, but it was a good idea.
I know that it probably had a lot to do with work and like how much it went into it. So
Well, I think they just became too successful that it just didn't work anymore. Just that was the idea because nobody expected Green Jelly to be successful. Are you working on a Berserker?
like Blothar, I have one for myself, and I still have Jason's, which usually my first ones are not as good.
Mm.
There's totally now.
Yeah, I love you
Um,
even got like these bone
I
wings.
think that's Libido. Libido.
Right, right, exactly. Wow.
He was a pain in the ass because the only thing that you have of him is a little bit of that Dr. Gruesome's. You can see him in there,
Mm-hmm.
and that MTV introduction. So I'm
Oh yeah,
watching
the
clips.
CMJ Fest footage, I think.
Yeah, and I gotta make more of those.
The
My
slave helmets, the
yeah.
mind control.
Um,
Actually, the first time I ever may have seen Gwar was probably in the Green Jelly video Obey the Cow God, where you see
Beefcake.
Beefcake wearing that slave revolt helmet. And I'm always wondering, like, where did that footage come from?
Mm-hmm.
Because they never, I guess they put some of it on the Techno, Return to Techno, but they never really officially released that show. So,
No,
Bill, do you still have that tape somewhere?
those are a sore subject actually.
Oh yeah. Do you want
Not
to?
it's not that sore. Like I can't talk about it, but
Well, do you want to talk about it?
yeah, I don't remember
Is
the
it
guy's name. I wish I could so I could bash him on YouTube.
therapy session right now?
Uh, no, this I was making these for fun originally, and my friend Byron, like I think something was going on with his car. I think this was a car problem thing. So I was like, okay, well, I want to help. Byron helps me out with everything. I want to help him out, and I don't have money, so I I can make something and sell it and
Mhm.
try to bring proceeds to him. Um, Sold him. Oh, technically I sold him, and I was like, just give Byron the money and get him. And this is me being you know, thinking that we're all GWAR fans, so this is all peace and harmony. We all get along. It's not like the shows where we beat the crap out of each other.
Right.
This is different. I was wrong,
Mm.
and I, I I started like basically harassing the guy. I was like, "Are you gonna do this?" I brought up the time that in Green Jello when what's his name didn't get paid,
Oh
and I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, yeah, that reminds me of you." I just spent like until I
Hey,
was
those
looking.
two guys are friends again now. Just so you know, there's a happy ending to that story. They're actually friends now. So
I basically was addicted to this guy until he unfollowed me, which is if you cross me that way, that's what I do. I'm just gonna be a dick.
what
But
happened to these toys? Do you still have them?
no. I sent them to. I never got them any back.
Mm.
Nothing really happened to it. I just kind of gave figures to someone that didn't deserve them.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, if it was like something big, I would have bigger problems with it. But
Right.
those were for fun anyway. Yeah, that's my first attempt. I didn't even get to finish them. I didn't even get to make
The
the hand.
bozo.
Yeah, that's my early
What did
stuff.
you make this techno claw out of?
Um. Okay, I used several figures. Trapjaw. I used his.
Ah, I knew I recognized it from something. Yeah.
Yeah, he was perfect, and I just switched out the head and I think I just bought another He-Man and cut the hair into a mohawk.
Mm-hmm.
The claw itself, I don't remember. It was
Hmm.
honestly probably from something else I broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's been a long time. That's an
It's
old
an
figure.
original oldie. Yeah, I think we got through all of them. It's like, my God, there's so many of them.
So this is one of the old shows here. Bob the Slob.
Oh wow, yeah, we talk about him a lot on this show, actually.
So I know,
Bob the Slob, yeah, that's from like the Schaefer Court show.
and you're like me, you're obsessed with that show. It's like apparently there's all this footage, but I mean, I've
I
barely
gotta
seen.
get Bob on the show and like grill him about that.
This one's really cool.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Colette was talking about the Chernobyl cockroach. The white version, or are you gonna paint it?
Oh yeah, this I prime everything. It's just easier to paint,
Okay.
get everything even. Yeah, this is
Because there was, I mean, there was a picture of it in rehearsals before it got painted, and it looked kind of like that with the white.
I used that for reference for this. It was a there's not a lot of pictures, unfortunately, especially for the old stuff.
I got one for you, and I don't know if there's even a picture of him, but apparently this is another thing I love about finding out things about the Schaefer Court show. There was a character called the Watcher, and he just watched them.
I remember hearing that, and I was
And I
like,
was like, what? That's crazy.
you need to get an image. He'd be easy to make.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get that. Well, here, let me play this in the background, if I can find it. There was a music video, an early music video that was mostly Schaefer Court footage. It was in the
Time for Death.
yeah, I think it might be Time for Death. It was part of that Shimmy Disc compilation. Um,
Very cool. Good idea.
and I was like, oh yeah, this is like mostly Schaefer Court stuff. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, are you gonna make any like the Chateau of Sin and like the dairy and stuff? Have you thought about making the dairy?
You know, every now and again, like especially after the documentary,
Yeah.
with all that archive footage, and you saw those pictures, I'm like, man, yeah. If I could, if there was enough images where I can set up a place, I would love to do that. I would love to
Mhm.
set up a slave pit, like make my own slave pit figures.
Let's see. I think.
Gwar.
Oops, it started over again. I think it's the end of this. I think this is all
Yep.
Schaefer Court footage.
Yep.
Almost.
And it's so hard, like
Oh,
the
the
quality.
that.
Yeah, I plan to make the jet engine.
There's the original meat grinder. I love this crunchy version of Time for Death too. Oh, what about this guy? Well, what? Who's this character? I forget.
I'm not sure who that is exactly. I just found out recently that the guy on here,
How cool is that dinosaur tail though?
yeah, that's awesome. I'm not sure who that's supposed to be though.
Yeah. Do
That
they
might
have a card? I haven't looked at the game in a while, but I know there's some like obscure characters in there.
there's one character I can't get a beat on. Like I have what's his name, like Mr. Magico. That might
Oh.
like
Mm-hmm.
I've been I've been champing at the bits to find this guy actually. So I
Yeah.
can.
Where would I know it's been mentioned, but where is the information about him most present? Is it? Do you remember the Gwar fuck
The what?
FAQ? The Gwar FUQ. This is early internet days, and I have a nostalgia for like this was when Gwar was on like alt.music.gwar forum and stuff like that.
No,
Um,
uh, I
yeah,
I
okay.
avoided like messing with the internet.
Oh, and there he is again, I
I don't know how
think.
to. I don't know why it was either.
Well, there was something. Well, people had frequently asked questions about uh, topics. Like every group had an FAQ, frequently asked questions, and Gwar had like a version of that a fan made called the FUQ, FAQ, the frequently unasked questions, pronounced fuck, of course, you know.
Like
I think you can still find it out there, and that's where like the majority of my character information came from back in the day. Let's see if let's keep watching this, and then I'll try to pull up the GWARP fuck and see if we can find any information. There's not really pictures. Though someone may have made a version with pictures at some point.
you know, it's and also it becomes a recognized thing. Like,
Mhm.
you know, someone who's never seen Gwar before, they probably have no clue of what they're seeing because all they see is parts flying everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. We know where all
So
those parts are.
yeah, what they are at least are where they belong.
Is that the costume that Don probably ended up wearing?
Yeah, that's the one I haven't made yet.
Because it's
like I'm
before the
not.
claw, he had just like a cool like mechanical hand kind of
Mhm.
deal.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was meant to
There's
be.
Yep,
That he was basically a
that's
terrorist.
Bob the Slob, right?
Yep.
That's what you're making? That's what I was looking
Mhm.
for. Yeah. That's so cool.
It, uh, I'm I have to make all those characters anyway. Yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
to get an image of the Watcher and
Yeah, I wonder if he's here somewhere. God, I want this footage so bad. It's like obviously that it exists in some form.
absolutely. There's
Yeah,
the
I don't know which character that was either. All right, let me look up the GWAR fuck. And then we should probably land this plane because it's getting late over here in New York.
yeah
We
no
could
no
always, here it is. I guess the last time I see it was updated to September 1997.
wow. But
So let's check it out.
that's another character I'm trying to look for. I don't
Oh,
know.
that like
Uh, Turd
logo, the Bohab Central logo?
No, there was a guy and his character's name was Turdzilla.
Really? Wait,
Yeah,
what's that from?
he was like a he was just I don't know the whole deal, but it was someone in a costume who like I guess maybe once did something for Gwar or something, but like just bashes them. Like
Mhm.
it was a big thing a while back.
Oh, I do remember this. They had like a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I watched them. I didn't really care about what they were saying because you know I don't know their politics. I don't know what goes on.
Mhm.
None of my business. I'm here to be entertained by
Sure.
people in costumes.
Right.
You know, their politics, that's your business.
Here
So,
we go. Oh yeah, go ahead.
like, but I would watch all those videos because it's all behind the scenes stuff. You
Right.
know, I,
Yeah,
that's my
me too.
but
Me too. Um, check this out. And you should look this up if you haven't, because it might be a resource. Characters in Gwar, let's see. Odorous, Beefcake. I remember these mostly came from like the album notes, like This Toilet Earth. Gwar's enemies. Let's see. Anton, Biker Bitch, Beefy Security Goon, Cardinal Sin, Chernobyl Cockroach, the CIA, Corporal Punishment, Dr. D. Bill, Dated,
D
the
Bill.
Mad Scientist, Debilit. Oh, I get it. Yeah, you made one of those, right?
Yes, yeah, I made them.
Edna, Father Bohab, Flesh Column, Flopsies, alphabetical order. Did you make a Frank Sinatra?
Not yet, not yet. I plan to make him with OJ.
Yeah, they were the tag team. That was like my favorite show of all time. 1993 Halloween tour. I'm obsessed. Fudgies.
Fudgies, Mister Miss and Mister
Yeah.
Fudge, whatever. I can't get enough. I can't get a good image of them. Like
See, if you're listening to this and you're out there and you have anything, like send it to this man. And
it'd be greatly appreciated.
Goaty, aka the radioactive ram, partner
Go,
of the Chernobyl cockroach.
goatee load.
Did you
Uh,
make one of that?
no, no.
No.
I do have a body type that I'm going to use to make.
Nice. Gorgor, aliens, him, log suck off, another fudgy.
Yeah, I haven't done any of the fudgies.
Melvin, Michael Jackson, Skinhead, Nuns, OJ, Ollie North. Really?
Uh,
They had an Ollie North character?
uh, uh, yeah, I think he was a wrestling one.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
that
sure.
was like so.
Prestige, you did. Private Parts, yeah. Redneck, Skullhead Face, Slash, Stubbo.
Honestly, if it wasn't for Mind Control Monthly, I probably wouldn't have gotten Prestige
Mm.
done.
Mm.
Like they did one with Anton, and that's like the
Yep.
only like solid images I have of them.
Yeah,
I
you did a
just
good job with that. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Don told me that that is by far the most hated characters in like the beginning intros.
Really? I love that. I mean, I wasn't there for the show. I was too young, so maybe it would have pissed me off at the time, but I think that gimmick is hilarious. It went on just like a little uncomfortably too long.
Yes,
And that's the joke.
it's not the worst song. I've heard worse music, but
Yeah, and
still,
they made the original song too. Like it's funny.
yeah, he people would like us just through beer bottles, cans, just
Well,
anything. They hated that those two characters.
they sort of revived that for one of the Blothar tours. Do you remember? I don't
Uh,
know if they had character names, but
it looked like Marilyn Manson and
right.
Olderus.
Oh yeah, that was the Oldest tour because then he came out and as himself later on and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm proud of that one because
Yeah, I love that one with the troll. That's impressive. And I feel like they didn't do enough with those characters. Like,
yeah, that's one thing that kind of like disappoints me about Gwar is that sometimes these characters only get one shot.
yeah, and then
You know,
it's like not even an album tour, so it's like not even a character like from an album or anything. It's just like a one-off tours. And like, oh my God, they're so elaborate looking. Like that must take so much space in the slave pit. Like that troll costume and everything.
they need space. I said I'll learn to stand up. I'll learn to sleep standing up. Like
All
they
right.
put.
Any last questions for John? What character would you like to see? So yeah, the GWARPod was like an early information hub, for like obscure things back in the 90s. I mean, I remember it from like back in 1995, which it's crazy. It's almost 30 years ago already.
Dude,
And I
kind
was,
of
ooh, the fudgies, what's that? Like, holy crap.
here. I'll show you. Well, I got a little time left here.
Sure, yeah,
It,
yeah.
I don't often make. Usually, it's something that is other been made or like I said, maybe one of my own personal comic characters. This was just something I decided to do. Just wanted to
Oh,
sculpt something.
cool.
I was I don't know. I was going through emotions, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make something just kind of reflecting on
What
that.
did you make that out of? And does
Um,
it have a name?
no, not really, not now. Um, it does glow. Like if I put a black light to it, it's awesome.
Nice.
It's this is a couple of things. Um, most of it's the same clay that I use. The skull here, though, that was from a Halloween piece that it broke off, and I was like, I'll do
Hmm.
something to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's an actual prosthetic eye,
Oh, wow.
and this was a animal skull I found at a cemetery and cleaned it, and
Hmm.
it gave it that same mirror painting. And
Wow.
yeah, this thing. So this was just for fun. This was just to get back into it. Because every now and again, I take these huge breaks, like whether it
Yeah.
be an emotional thing or physical. Like I just got stitches like back in my hands. And it's always my good hand. It's never like
Hmm.
it's the one that I predominantly use. It always gets messed up.
Yeah. Any character recommendations, anybody? So everyone in the chat, before we leave, give us your favorite Gwar character. And maybe we can.
I might
Did
have
you
it.
did you bring out any other ones that you wanted to show? Because I know you had
Um,
asked me like, well, which one should I have
well,
available?
I brought a bunch of stuff. I could just go quick. One I'm
Yeah,
still
go for
working
it.
on is Joan Rivers.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow. Yes, give her a hand. Yes.
I'm gonna turn it into a lamp.
Yeah.
I remember you wanted me to bring some of the pasty
Oh yeah. So that's
and
Colette, right?
with her cereal.
That's
And now that
awesome.
I know about the necklace and that yellow hammer,
Right. Yeah.
um,
So that's gonna be updated, huh?
I never noticed the hammer either until she said something, and then I watched that video the 100th time.
Yeah.
It was perfect. I was like, I
Yeah.
saw.
That's a good detail. I love when I have like they just bring out these details they probably don't think anybody cares about, and me and you, we're the people who care about this shit.
Exactly.
Nice, Anton. Yep. Does it blow up?
No, but
No.
I made a hippie that breaks in three pieces. I've
Yeah,
thought
I
about
saw that. That's
it, and honestly,
crazy.
putting a little in here wouldn't. I have to remake it, but that's not the worst idea.
Oh, I
But
got an idea for you. What
what's up?
about, I don't know if there's a good, I know it's in at least one video, but it probably looks terrible. The blood chandelier.
Oh, I'd love to make that.
I don't know if there's
Um,
any good pictures of it, but
yeah. All right. Well, yeah, here's my like, how dare you destroy Nightmare Before Christmas memorabilia? But
oh, yeah,
yeah, actually roll up on you.
that's cool.
And here's her fish in pornographic magazine.
Oh my God. That's details right there. I don't know how you paint that small, man. That's a skill.
I'm surprised that I hate my painting too. Like
No, I
I
think it's great. I mean, it's so small. Like, how do you can't really get that detailed. But
small.
like Sean's shirt, like I could tell the image that you were working with. That's impressive.
Thank you very
Sean,
much.
yes. Make a Kevin Vonesper toy. Thank you. Yes, I would love that.
Since we talked about, since you had sleazy here, I'll give you a couple. I consider this a sleazy one because he did the voice, but
Hmm.
you got Robo Sleazy.
Oh yeah, Robo Sleazy.
I was
And
happy.
I still want my comic book Bozo and Robo that I made up
Yeah,
on the Matt Miner episode.
that'd be
That's a good idea, right?
I would love that. This is the
Oh,
Orange Story Sleazy, which I gave him the classic.
that's great.
Um, so Don also played a character, Dick Cox. He was a
Mm.
reporter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, made a
Yeah,
TV
from the uh Tour de
about
Scum tour.
Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. Um.
And Phallus, yeah, yeah.
So now I made the purple one, the purple sleazy outfit,
Mm-hmm.
with my personal favorite as a like color and design. But yeah, this is probably the most recent, and
Oh wow, yeah, that's a
that's a special feature. You don't
yep, yep. I forget which DVD that's even on. Maybe the video collection or something like that.
Bloodbath and Beyond, I think.
Bloodbath, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That's a
Um,
deep cut. That's a real deep cut right there.
that killed me when I saw that. That like that still makes me laugh thinking about it. Like, let's see what else we got real quick. So you already saw Sawborg. Of course, I made the slave.
Matron, yeah.
Now,
Coming on the show. I'm so excited for that. Everyone
I would like to know.
better join me for that.
I'd like to know what Matt's name, his slave name character was before he was Matron. Because
Mm.
he always Matron even before he was wearing the mask.
Remind me to ask him. I would love to ask him that question.
I tried to get that information about Scott Kroll because
Mm.
known as the Dick Nose Slave, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what was he before that? Because he didn't always have that. He wasn't always wearing a mask.
right. Yeah, Scott's another one I would love to have on the show. I was lucky enough to meet him once. He was a bizarre character.
Let's see what else I got here. Honestly, that's can't think of anything.
I mean, you got some cool stuff. I appreciate the show and tell.
I appreciate you putting me on here.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, there's so many great artists that do this stuff, and it's an honor,
I
honestly.
mean, what you do for this universe is like so unique, you know, and appreciated, I think.
I,
Jason
I
said, already made one of my favorites, Cankerous Maximus. Is that the name of that character that we were looking for?
no, that's another one. Honestly, that's you should interview these other like.
Yeah, I know. I will. Like, it's still a new show. I wanna talk to everybody for
Well,
sure.
the more you do, the most likely I'm gonna have to make you like
Yeah, yeah.
one.
I'm putting myself in the universe here. But
So
although I do want to say, although I should have said this at the beginning of the show and not 2.5 hours in, but the GWARPod has no official affiliation with GWAR. I do not represent the views of any GWAR members. I will talk to anybody. And so I just want to put that out there. So everyone asking me like, oh, get this person on, that person on, like, sure, I'd love that, you know.
yeah,
Hopefully it all happens.
I personally do appreciate it because you've asked a few. I got a few answers of things I never knew, and like as someone who's been doing this and who's a fan of getting all those answers,
Hmm.
that's killer. Like I didn't
Thank you.
Executioner's blade was called Sexcalibur. I don't
Hmm.
remember
Yeah,
them
those
ever
details,
referencing.
those throwaway details are like the most important.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Um, and you
Um,
know what you should let me see. Here's another one maybe you could make now is this character in the GWARPod logo.
oh, I mean, yeah. I
I
think
mean, I'm just
that,
throwing that out there because that's a Hunter original. He made that for the show. I didn't give him any direction whatsoever, and that's what he came up with. So that's a character now, I guess.
yeah.
Or maybe the GWARPod logo itself.
Well, I mean, I did make I don't you
Don't
know
don't make that a priority.
no, I mean, I'm the worst when it comes to that. I'll be honest. Like I owe people. I have projects, and it takes me forever to work on
Oh
them,
yeah.
especially someone else. Me,
Hmm.
I do. I'll admit I rush things out, so they're not as good as they are. But like if I'm giving it to somebody that's gonna be in their house, you know, I kind of want them. I want it to look at least better than what I can have for myself.
Arthur Marx has a piece of that chandelier, so
That's
that's
all.
cool. Let's get some reference photos.
So I don't know
So I'd
if
love
you
to see that.
this right here. This is another thing I'm really proud of as a signature.
What is that?
Well, I used to have before I was ever a gravedigger. I owned a hearse,
Mm-hmm.
and the coffin came with the hearse. So I that I honestly what sold the deal for me to buy the hearse. I was like, well, I tell you what, I'll throw in the coffin, and you could have the hearse. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. I got Guar to sign, and most of the members actually like
So you drag that thing, or oh, so do you still drive that hearse, and that's how you carry that around?
no,
No.
it was a '72 Cadillac, so it needed a lot of work, and I'm not a mechanic. It looked, I had it until basically I couldn't drive it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Sold it to a guy who uses it for like puts it out during Halloween and stuff, like goes all out. So at least it's at a good home. But I took everything I possibly could rip out of that thing,
Mm-hmm.
as a collection. And one thing I made sure I kept the coffin. It's been my coffin table for years. And
Mm.
now it's hanging out with like my cats. Like I set up a bunch of cat beds. But I got Guar to sign it. The funny thing is about
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm asking. Like, how did you drag that along to have Guar sign it?
Well,
Because that's dedication.
a look. Well, I didn't, it's not like I carried it or anything with
Mm-hmm.
my shoulder. I had the hearse at the time, and the funny thing is about a hearse. If you drive and act like you know what you're doing, most people will let you in anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
after a show, and I was like, let me just give it a shot. There's plenty of times I'll flash my high beams, and someone's like, oh, go ahead. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm young. I didn't care. I was like, all right. So I just drove through, and I asked the cop if he could open up the barrier to let me through, and he just did. And then I took out the
Wait, to where? At one of the venues, or?
yeah. It was actually at Birch Hill. It was
Oh, wow. Okay.
probably like
Yeah.
the second time I saw like the back tour when Slimenstra was like came for like one time,
Oh,
and
I wonder if that she was at that
yeah,
show. Just
might
thinking.
have seen you,
Yeah.
but like Yeah, I actually got a little bit of Dave's sweat on it, like blood sweat on his signature. He was the funniest because he's like, after he signs, he's like, "So you drive a hearse with a coffin in it?" And like made a face of disgust, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's like the most room you could ever have." And he, you know that Dave smile that you see, like that,
Mm-hmm.
like the grimace. He gave me one of those, and that felt like $1,000,000. I was like, "Oh, I just made odorous smile at me."
Yeah,
But I got like Symenstra, I got Gwar,
nice.
the Zach Gladys,
Mm-hmm.
Beefcake.
I met Zach once. I don't know if I told that story on the podcast. Maybe I'll say it. I probably said it at some point.
He was really nice guy, really really nice. But here, I'll try
Yeah.
to post it to you. But this is like a shipping coffin from the 70s. I think came from Spain.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone can see all
That'd
this.
be perfect for AJ Good's him prop.
I don't know if that
Yeah,
shows.
I can see some of it. Yeah, I can see the lines of the signatures, but I can't make out exactly who they are. Oh yeah, I see a Balzac, Flatus, Odorous. Yeah, nice,
My Menstra.
nice.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my. This comes with me. In fact, right now, all the extra GWAR stuff, like things that I can't display,
Mm,
it's all in there.
mm. Here's that Dave smile.
Yeah, exactly.
One time I met him in 2004. Oh, I got another one for you. Chippy. Have you made Chippy?
Chippy.
Do you know Chippy?
I might.
Ooh, it's a character you don't know.
Yeah, who's Chippy?
Chippy was a Dave character that he did at this art show that I saw him. This was from an art show in New York. It was the original MF Gallery, and MF Gallery everyone might know because they hosted the Crackathon. And
All right.
I befriended them back then, and I'd love to have them on the show. I reached out, but I don't know if they saw it. And Chippy, let me see if I can look up Chippy. It was one of Dave's weird like GWAR offshoot characters, and he was like this chipmunk thing.
All right. No, I'll admit this is a new character.
Okay, here, wait, I got a video for you. We'll watch the video, and then maybe that's a good way to conclude the show.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's cool.
Oops.
Hello, I'm Jibby the
Oh.
Jibbopotamus. Welcome to my show. Ask Jibby. This is my show where I will let you write me a letter and I will tell you what to do. It'll be fun. And my first letter came from Bard Decker. Bard Decker. It says, "Dear Jimmy, I've got this problem. Too many chicks know my phone number, and it rings off the hook 24/7 with them wanting to do stuff. So, besides changing my number, which I don't want to, how do I get them to stop calling?
Anyways, you get the idea.
Should oven
There's other
and make
videos of him too.
I've seen that image,
Yeah.
but never knew about Chippy.
Yeah, so he did a Chippy performance at this art gallery before being sealed into a coffin, I believe, actually relevant to what you were just saying. And then for the duration of the rest of the gallery, well, for the rest of the night, Dave just stayed in this like box, and people were like stepping on it and like feeding him stuff through like a little hole in it and stuff. And then for the rest of the gallery, like for the weeks or months that it was up, it was just a bunch of sound effects of him like sleeping in there as if he never came out. Like it was,
That's fine.
So yeah, it was a whole thing, and I was there for that, and that's where I met Scott as well. He was there. He was like Chippy's handler.
Uh, uh, yeah, I'll definitely make a Chippy. I'll definitely be on the list.
Yes, I got a character you didn't think about making. That's great. That was my win.
I'm looking for one that really is bothering me.
Which one?
Was it Well, I know Muscle was always a silent character, but he did come
Mhm.
out once wearing like a walrus like thing,
Hmm.
and
I heard he
like
used to wear like Flatus's old hat before he stopped using that, but like maybe when he was in the sound booth, like not on stage. That's
yeah,
another one. I'd love Muscle on the show. Come on, man. Get at
I,
me.
I would too. I'd love to hear what he has to say. Like
Hmm.
the older guys are honestly the ones I want to hear more than anything because they got the
Exactly.
story and
Yeah, and
like
they're unsung heroes, man. They don't get enough time, like being celebrated as for all they did in the band, because they were in the background.
I was very fortunate. A few of the older members, like Joey Slutman, has a figure of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I made one which he recognized. He saw it and it was like posted. It was like, oh, dude, someone's doing this. And I actually did two ball sacks for both of the previous ball sacks. Chris
Chris Popes.
and Steve. Yeah, Chris Bobs and Steve. And I made
Steve,
them.
check out my episode with Steve.
That was a really good one too.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun one. There it is. Oh yeah, I guess I should promote some of the upcoming shows, although I did mention some of them already. Um, go see my old interviews with all these fine folks. That's where we are now. You are here. Next on the GWARPod, it's the Gwar Kid. Hey, is it okay if we run commentary over your portion of that show? We'll talk later about it, but that's going to be a fun conversation. And then we got our first actual GWAR member, Matt McGuire. We're going to ask him what his name of his slave character was before Matron. And then we got VHS Mikey, who I don't know if you guys watch his channel on YouTube. I found out he was a GWAR fan through his video about the Holliston Christmas special VHS specifically. And I was like, all right, we gotta talk VHS, Mikey, because I got some GWAR VHS, and we're also gonna talk about green jelly, of course. And then stay fucking tuned, because I'm talking to some people. We just haven't solidified dates yet, but that'll put us through the next few months.
Very
Anyone,
cool.
and hey, if you can't make the live show, like send in your comments, or you could actually leave a comment once I make the episode on YouTube, and it like sits there for a week. You can actually put a comment in there and I'll see it when the show starts. So if anyone has any comments and they can't make the show, like if you have any details you want me to ask any of these people, drop it in there and then watch the replay and see what they say.
Very nice.
Okay, I think we did it. Hey, are you a Haunted Garage fan?
Yes, yeah, but I'll admit, like they weren't on my radar until after we first spoke.
Gotcha.
So I watched your trailer. I think it's awesome. I can't wait
Thanks.
to check it out. I'm a sucker for documentaries as a whole.
I guess the news on that is that I'm working on it very, very slowly in the background. So, nobody's really funding it. So you're going to get it when you get it. But I just did some major, major interviews virtually. I just interviewed Gabby Godhead, their drag queen guitar player, for like 5 hours the other day, finally. So that was like a big missing piece of the puzzle. And yeah, so just stay tuned on that. There's not much publicly that I'm talking about right now. It's just in the background, but it's being worked on for anyone who's wondering, very slowly. And I guess, maybe I'll end this with a trailer, one of my trailers for it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank you
everything.
for coming on. And we'll talk about a Kevin the Dinosaur CrAction figure at some point.
Absolutely.
I gotta
You have a
solidify my costume.
you have a couple of covers of issues I don't have, so a couple of copies. So
Oh
I
yeah,
could
you
do it.
noticed that?
Uh,
Okay.
Dude, I'm quick with that stuff.
Make a list. Make a list.
I will.
All right, cool. I'll leave you with one of my short trailers for the documentary. And stay tuned. Watch my other show, Von Pod. The Phantom Show is coming back in January. Found a Phantom. If you like Phantom of the Opera, details on that. Oh, and follow me. I didn't even put up the banner for this show, but at GWARPod on Instagram. And do you want to plug your where people can find you?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram. It's just Jon Poppe, Poppe. You know, spelt like Pope. Sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
I
There
finally
it is.
got a page going. I literally like today.
What did you
So
do?
Patreon.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I'm gonna try to do some money with it, like those not GoFundMe, but like Cash Apps. So at this point, like I said, I've even considered doing a OnlyFans if I have to. So
You're gonna have to remake all your toys, but naked.
you know,
Although there's a lot of dicks in there already, so
that much of a stretch. But I'm just a furry guy, so I don't do it mainly because of glue.
you could get some of these.
Oh yeah, put. See that I have a horrible sense of humor and active, and I'm just thinking of like interesting kind of condoms. But
I don't know what would fit on this, and again, like this is the medium size. It goes large and then extra large above this. It's
yeah, there's no comparison.
I just love when it stares
But,
at you.
you
It's
know,
so good. Whoever designed these,
if you ever have someone
good job.
break in your house, man.
Ha! You don't know where I live. Maybe you do. Who knows?
Oh no, I mean that's for protection.
Oh yeah. Whack. Or is it this way? Whack. They would just be so stunned by like what is that they'd be like confused. It's like you just got cuddle fished, motherfucker.
It might spark up.
You never know. Speaking of sparking up, Titties the Clown from Green Jello, 420 on my GWARPod show. That's another one who could use a toy. I mean, he's a character. I don't know if you know Titties the Clown at all.
Titties clown. I don't know. Green
I'll
Jello.
show you a picture of him real quick.
Please do.
He's one of the more recent guys. So you wouldn't know him from like the old tapes or anything, but
Sometimes I still think it's 97. So
yeah. Sometimes I wish it was still 97.
God. Yeah.
Well, you know what? No, 93 I think was like maybe the best year of music ever, so I'll go with that. And he does great art too. He does a lot of the like I don't know if you've seen the Yuck member logos. The
Yeah.
you know what
I
I'm
think
talking about, I think.
I-
Let me show you Titties the Clown. I mean, you don't see his pants, which have you know,
He has such a Brett Gelman look to him, though.
Yeah, this is some of his art that I'm talking about. And then he does them on drum heads because he's a drummer.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we'll talk 420 on Von Pod. That's a Thursday. That's when I do my Von Pod show. Oh, he went on the Kiss Cruise with them. I'm looking for like a full body picture. Oh well. Anyways, Titties the Clown. What a character. Didn't make a flyer yet, but that's exclusive news right now for you.
Very cool.
He's got big pants. I just want one picture of him with his big ass pants. I don't know. What the fuck, titties? You need some more full-bodied pictures. That's better. See, we needed to see the cock in his pants. So stay tuned.
That'd be a crazy paint job, but he would be really fun to make.
Yeah, he's definitely a character. All right, I'm gonna play my Haunted Garage, one of my Haunted Garage trailers, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for everyone for hanging out. Wow, we almost went 3 hours, and you're not even in the band, man.
Yeah,
That's how cool this was.
Thank you.
All right. See you later, John.
You guys later. Thank you.
I understand why there's so many addicts. You got to be at 100 or 150 and then 0.
Honda Garage is the way to get healthy and fit in the 90s.
He and I share a common affliction.
I think I heard of them at an AA meeting.
People that came to Haunted Garage shows, I started seeing them in meetings. I thought you just had to be like fucked up to enjoy our music.
You never know where help's going to come from. And in my case, came from Dookie Flyswatter.
Dookie was an intricate part to me getting sober at the time.
We'd never heard of the word sober. We're like, sober? What's that?
Just his presence sometime has been really good for people.
Just knowing the man made it easier for me to deal with my own mental illness.
Being bipolar was the perfect vehicle for this band. That was before medication.
Mental is the other side of genius.
I'm Bill Wilson, don't you fuck with me. I am the trendy king sobriety. I'm Bill Wilson, don't you fuck with me. I am the trendy king sobriety. Me and Dr. Bob like to take it on a hook. Me and Dr. Bob formed a cold brother book. Used to be the Bobby Jones, now it's movie stars and fun. Used to be the Bobby Jones, now it's movie stars and fun.
Subscribe.